Hello, and welcome to 10 Crazy Real Mysteries with Ken and Will. Number 10, The Kidnapping of Bear Child of Possum Springs.
So you saw that Shields video too, huh?
I just love the fucking... I love the stereotypical top 10 voice. It's one of my favorite fucking things.
Well, you know that's like one dude, right?
Yeah, I know. But I just always love the fact that he's like, these are terrifying and chilly tales, everyone. And it's just like, then put some fucking emotion into your voice, goddamn.
I mean, the clicks were coming.
Yeah, the clicks were coming. Alright, we're fucking back in Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened last time? There was like, not Halloween festival, and then a kid got kidnapped, and we went to investigate and couldn't find anything. We determined that it was a ghost that did it, and so we went to go see the grave of said ghost, and ended up, like, breaking open his coffin and being scared by a cat person.
Spoopy.
Yeah.
Little Joe.
Lil Joe, right. Astronomy time!
Yeah.
Best part.
Oh, man.
We get to interact with old teachers as if they were human beings. No bullshit. Yeah, alright.
I haven't had that experience just because I haven't seen any of my teachers really since I graduated.
I went back after, like, 1 year after I graduated high school and spoke to the teachers, and they're constantly just like, oh yeah, you're a fucking human being now, I can just talk to you. Oh, nice. Mom's just accusing us of being Preganonate.
Pregonate?
Pregonate? Yes. We're Greg.
Oh! And we're a surprise baby!
Ah, yay! May's a miracle. A demon spawn! Yay! Yeah, last night I literally spent the night with Bea. I don't understand how that would be physiologically possible. Just no. Just stop. Okay. I'm just heading out. Bye. Goodbye. Awkward family encounters.
Also, like, I know why May actually left university, so it's like the whole thing has this stank to it.
Ooh. I didn't know there was a thing here.
An M80 down a roof gutter, holy shit.
It's one way to clean the gutters, I guess. Yes. Edumacates.
Wait, the windowsills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edumacates.
Mr. Jessica.
Jessica. Like, the going back to high school and interacting with teachers only really works if you actually had a teacher that you enjoyed talking to in high school.
Yeah, my mom was the secretary for the school that I went to, so it was like every single person was my mom's coworker first and then my teacher second.
Yeah.
Not that they were, like super close outside of school. Like, it's like work buddies. There's people you don't necessarily talk to. But, like, there's still that weird situation of it's like you'd see these people, but, like, at your house sometimes?
Yeah, that is a little bit weird. Like, my buddy his mother was the librarian in our school library. But like, she was just really fucking nice.
Oh,
And
good.
he also liked a lot of the teachers, so it didn't really matter to him all that much.
Yeah.
We just thought it was really fun to constantly go into the library and just be like, "Hi, Matt's mom." Hey, we actually know one.
Hey.
Frozen in a lake. Okay.
We got faraway lands. We got a lamp.
We got a lamp. How she, in her quest, turned her back on the sky and journeyed down into the earth, where her stars are no longer over her head, and how she was never seen again. Yeah, alright. Is that not a sad ending? I'm going for hopeful optimism. She probably went somewhere else completely. Somewhere where she didn't have people constantly looking at her all the time. Maybe she just felt too much pressure from that.
It's too intense. Had to go into Earthland.
Exactly. You just give it kind of a little bit of a peace out. Don't worry about it too much. Everything will be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Okay, are you it? There we go. Aw, yeah! Cole the Mountaineer! So what's the deal with Cole? Cole was from a flat land. Ah, he's from Saskatchewan! Every place has a Midwest. I feel like that's the truest statement of North America ever. Every place has a Midwest.
This kind of like bottom portion of Ontario is really weird because we have a minuscule sliver of the edge of the Midwest.
Yeah.
So like we have the flatness and the plains and all that stuff, but nobody's like, oh yeah, the Midwest right near Toronto.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, no one really cares about it. I think that's probably because like when it comes to Midwest, the main thing of the Midwest is flat land and like long roads with like stretches of nothing, and you don't always get that here. Like it's always there is always a certain amount of bustle to it. So like
Yeah. It depends the direction you go and which roads you take.
Yeah.
There's a lot of farm country around here.
There's a lot of farm country around here.
But also we're competing with the prairies, right? They win that fight.
Yeah, they win that fight hardcore. He likes Possum Springs. That's good. He's probably the only one.
To be fair, he's employed. Like,
yeah, he's gainfully employed. Has been for
He's a
years.
teacher.
Well liked in the community. Like,
that is one thing that's really frustrating. Is like you can go and get a qualification, but like, if there's no job, there's no job.
yeah,
And in a town like this, like it doesn't matter if you come back and you're like, I'm a psychologist, I'm a dentist, I'm a blacksmith, I'm a machinist. Like,
yeah.
are they hiring? Yes? No? Not hiring? Okay, bye. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of how, like, this is very specific to London because Western has the dentist school here.
Yeah.
But there are dentist offices everywhere, and no one gives a shit about needing a dentist in London. Like, they're like a Starbucks. They're on every goddamn street corner.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty safe to say you don't want to be a dentist in London, but since everyone gets educated here, they just buy a building and call it a dentist office.
Yeah. Welcome to the dentist building, home of the dentist.
Yeah, basically. That's all fucking London is.
And lots of chiropractors.
Yeah.
Also, I found out something weird. Apparently, here in Canada, there's like some petty amount of like chiropractic like standardization. So it's on par with stuff like massage, where it's like, oh yeah, just crack it back a little bit. Apparently, that's a weird Canada thing.
Really?
Everywhere else, chiropractors are woo. They're like, yeah, let me fix your spine subluxations to cure depression. It's an old, like, snake oil thing.
Huh.
Apparently in Canada, they just have this weird thing of like, well, we want to make sure you're a chiropractor properly, so then you actually go to a chiropractor's office here, and it's like treated like a medical procedure.
Okay.
There are still some, which is really jarring because they're like outliers compared to the rest of them. But apparently chiropractic is some bullshit. I did not know that.
I can kind of see that, yeah. So, we missed that poem, but it was a beautiful poem about how life's too short, let's just grill hot dogs.
Nice.
Which is probably the best one so far, I think. Because it's the most true to life.
I wouldn't be opposed to a dog.
You know, it's been a long time since I've had a hot dog.
Because the thing is, right, there's certain categories of food that you can only really have at home if you're making them for groups. Like, burgers are a stretch. If you're getting burgers, you're eating burgers, like, every day for the next couple of weeks.
Hey, don't talk about my fucking life like that.
Well, that's the thing. The burger is, like, one of the fundamental units of what a Kent eats,
Yeah,
you know?
it is the fundamental unit of what I eat. It is the basic... I don't know what to cook. I'll grill up a burger and eat it.
But, like, if you're only in the mood for one or two burgers, you cannot get burgers. You're gonna have shit in your freezer for the next year.
Yeah. Always. The population drain in this reason, you have to know this place will never ever be full again. We have... Oh, right, she's trying to get the homeless shelter up. She's trying to use the church as a pseudo-homeless shelter.
Yeah. But the NIMBYs! The NIMBYs!
Yeah, but there will be children here. To bring businesses into this town. Businesses mean job, and jobs mean people. But if you have people that you're taking care of, they can give back to the community by working jobs. And God damn it.
Yeah, there's this difficult moment where it's like, if your entire society is based on the fundamental assumption that anybody who is a human being of value is going out for and performing a paying job, and that you should be able to get the best job available based on your skills. If you go into the world with that axiom, and there is one person, not who can't do a job, but who can't get hired, it breaks.
Yeah, the entire system breaks down.
And that's the issue, is like factories, we survived. But automation beyond factories is slowly choking things out.
Yeah.
Places like fast food and supermarkets and stuff like that, they're actually like really effective because, to be honest, it's kind of just what a cashier does anyways. I've been a cashier.
Yeah.
You're just a robot.
Yeah.
But like
the only time that you are more effective than a robot is when someone asks you, "Hey, do you have this in stock? Like, where can I find this?" Whereas like even that is sort of like, you can go into a bookstore and they'll see if they have it in stock or something like that. They have a little computer that'll tell you if it's in stock. But actually like finding it on the shelves, that's literally what people do, and that's the only thing that makes them different from a robot.
Like, the thing that really is a problem for automation, frankly, is just efficiency and like automating certain amounts of data collection, because those are the things that actually just eliminate swaths of jobs. Like, if you can have an algorithm figure out where which truck goes to which warehouse to unload things, and you can save like 3 truck trips a month, you just fired 3 truckers.
Yeah, basically.
And And that's the depressing thing, is that, like, realistically, we're kind of in the, like, cyberpunk space trucker future where it's like, sure, there's some people who have fancy jobs, there's some people who have managed to, like, beat the odds and get a good gig, but really, like, you work software, you own/operate a store, or you're a delivery driver, or you're a trucker, or you're a picker. That's kind of what the jobs are.
Yeah. Pretty much. So we're telling a priest that we saw God.
Just hanging.
Yeah,
just hanging out.
Describing a dream where we saw God. They, like, didn't care, or they were kind of a jerk. Like, they, like, didn't care. Let's not tell the priest that God's a jerk. In general, just kind of a general unfeeling about them.
I find the pastor as a character very interesting because I'm not entirely convinced the pastor is still religious.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think the pastor may have lost faith, but come to realize that if the pastor leaves, this town's gonna fall apart in a major way.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. The pastor doesn't seem to be very, doesn't really have any zeal for the religion side of things, but is very, very active in the community compassion side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's sort of where it comes from. At this point, I think your mom is the most religious person in town.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems to just be here, like, going to this church because it's a social thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what a lot of churches are. It's just like a weekly social meetup.
Yeah, basically. A weekly social meetup and reminder to be morally just. Whatever that means.
Whatever is right.
Have we been feeling lonely lately?
Good question. How do you think May feels?
I don't think she would be. Like, okay, there would probably be a mixture on this one. Where it's like, yes and no, because we do spend every single fucking day with our friends.
Yeah.
But there's probably a driving force underneath that is driving us to go and hang out with our friends. So I'm gonna say no. Yeah. That seems to be very accurate. Yes! Oh, yes! I'm a psychologist. Okay.
That sounds predatory.
Yeah, like you're at a deep low. Find God. I'm gonna go with the non-religious. Oh, fuck.
See what I mean?
Okay. Faith is a process. Alright, you have to keep getting up and choosing to go on. Like, literally someone up there listening. Wow. This is like the most honest...
Mm-hmm.
Is she a priest or is she like a chaplain? I
Hmm.
don't know. This religious figure,
I get
incredibly...
I get a reverend vibe.
Yeah,
like
reverend.
She could go out for a beer and go on a date with somebody, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, the trouble is, everyone just refers to her as Kate, so it's just like, oh, I don't I don't remember a time where someone has specifically referred to you as that. Maybe the dude outside who's, you know, living in the tarp would have a title to address her by. Pastor. There we go. Yeah, pastor. So, yeah, incredibly honest. Just like the most honest religious person I think I've ever seen in a video game.
When you were growing up, did you ever have a moment where an adult just gave the game away? Was just kind of like, all right, look, listen, you're too close to figuring it out, so I'm just going to tell you. Like that kind of stuff?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever really had those moments. That purely because when I was a kid, I was always worried about being wrong and stuff. And so I kept a lot to myself internally. And so, like, I figured a lot of stuff out and then just said it, and then everyone was just like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, it was just kind of one of those moments of just like, alright, stop bullshitting me, we all know this is a fraud, and they're just like, yeah, but you were having fun a moment ago, and I'm like, yeah, I was, so I'll keep up the charade, because why not?
Yeah. There is something to be said for that, because you keeping up the charade might not do it for you or the other person, but it does do it for third parties sometimes.
Yeah, it does do it for third parties. Like cousins, little kids, you know? You always gotta keep the charade up for that.
Yeah.
Because my cousin fucking ruined Santa Claus for me, and I'm never letting him live that down.
I discovered Santa Claus wasn't real. I had a hypothesis, and I hid, and I got him. And I am proud.
Aw, dude's leaving. Never gonna lift a hand. Never gonna be violent. I hope he manages to achieve this. Sounds great, Bruce. Live in hope that this is actually what's going to happen. This sounds like a person who is lying to themselves for the sake of someone else.
The line about hope being the last thing you have seems like a lie.
Yeah.
Because I've been there. It's not hope, it's spite.
It's like, whatever it needs to be. If spite can give you hope, then that's perfect.
Well, the thing is, right, hope is like, it's gonna get better, everything will be okay, there's a way through, there's something good, this can happen, and then when all of those break through, it isn't the end, it isn't rock bottom, there's a way harder wall that comes up that went, hold on, do you really think you can fuck me like this?
Yeah.
Listen here, bucko, and then you start attacking life again, because then it's like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and hope for better for me. I've been dicked a little.
Yeah.
I'm a little mad.
I'm a little angry, and I'm gonna do some tomfuckery.
But it's a dangerous game, because it's very easy to be spiteful of the wrong people.
Oh, God, yeah. So we need to tell the pastor that he's leaving.
It's like the whole super straight thing.
I forgot that was a... Like, that popped up and went away so quickly from, like, relevance.
Yeah, it's not really important.
It's not really important. It was stupid.
It exists because people didn't realize that they have consent. Like, it doesn't matter if someone's, like, cis or trans. They're not gonna rape you.
Yeah.
You get to say no.
Yeah.
When someone says, hey, you want a date? You can be like, nah, and you don't need to give a reason. You don't need to be like, oh, you're not fucking legit, don't have the biological veg.
Yeah.
Like, bullshit. Like, no, just say no.
Just say no.
Just don't consent. That's all you need to do.
It's incredible. It's incredible how valid just not liking a person is in dating. You don't like a person, just say you're not attracted to them, and that's the end of the conversation.
Yep. It is
and if
not
a person raises
process.
a stink about it, the fact that you don't like them, then they're probably a piece of shit, and it has nothing to do with their sexuality.
It is kind of funny, like, when you see through the facade like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, with that super straight thing, it's like, hold on. You do know that no one's gonna force you to do anything. No one's gonna, like, force marry you to a trans woman.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Mallet's pregnant.
Oh. Cute little verms.
Who's the best vermin? You are. God, that is ungodly sounds. That is fucking unholy.
Miracle rats.
One of the favorite things as a kid. This is a tomb.
Every now and then, and I think, why aren't there any big parades with floats anymore? And then I remember that I'm not 8, so I don't go to them.
I mean, I never really went to them anyway, but I still appreciate the thought behind big floats. Like the like biggest sort of like parades and stuff in Niagara Falls are like the fun runs, the Terry Fox runs, and like all of those events. Those are the big things, and then that's about it.
Yeah, London has a lot of really arbitrary festivals. Like it's very much like there is a season from, I want to say June, because I feel like the prep is during May, and then from June all the way to like September is just festival season, and it's just like it's conjured stuff because there's an economy of people that go from town to town, so it's like none of it is actual shit we're fucking celebrating. It's like there's Sunfest, there's Ribfest, there's Vegan Fest, which like I like the fact that we can have a Ribfest and a Vegan Fest like a week or two apart.
Yeah. And
just
you'll find like the same people at it.
Yeah, because you find the people who like food. Like, have you gone to vegan festivals? Oh my god, the food! It is so good!
Yeah, it's the same as any food fest, right? Like, it's you want to shove a bunch of food in your face, and someone is just offering you a very specific menu of food, and you're going, yes, all of it. Just the same as Rib Fest. It's just, you want some good fucking ribs? Alright.
My favorite is Sunfest because it's just a festival-themed festival and it's the biggest one of the year. Like, literally, the whole theme of Sunfest is just, alright, let's go.
So we're just hanging out with this kid.
Honestly, respect.
Yeah. Kid wants to hang? We'll hang. He has to like mop it up.
I find those like, oh, this is the person whose job it was things, like those stories really interesting because like there's only two ways they end. It's either, and so I had to clean it up because I don't want to live in filth. Yeah. Or it's, and so filth was created because I'm a creature of spite.
And so I threw it out. Okay, this kid seems like a little us. And that's mildly concerning. You're so excited to go to sleep. I have stress dreams if I'm too keyed up. Probably get your foot off the track. Okay. This is real moment with child.
It is kind of funny, like, the conversations you have with someone occasionally where, like, you get to level with someone who's actually had some, like, real mental health shit going on.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's only so many times where you can talk to someone and they'll be like, yeah, I have bad days too. And, like, it isn't really like that anymore. People are more, like, aware of things like depression and anxiety. So instead, someone would be like, oh, yeah, depression can be really rough. And you're like, no, this is more specific. This is a subcategory.
Oh, God.
Like, there was the elementary school I went to was, like, there was this big open field, and, like, behind it, there was a train track that would go by. And there were fences, so you couldn't get too close. But, like, you've seen a train go by.
Yeah.
If you're, like, 2 meters away behind a fence, you're basically that close.
Yeah.
And, like, you just hang out, and it would roar by. And, like, you were safe. Nobody wanted to go over. But the teachers just wouldn't let anybody be on the far, like, on the far end of the field at all. And it's kind of funny because you could find out which kids the teachers trusted, because they're the kids where if it was all kids that were trusted, the teachers wouldn't go get them.
Yeah. Horror movies and trains. I just want to say too, when the trains were fucking going by, that would probably be the loudest fucking thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So goddamn loud.
It's like half the wind and half the clatter of the actual, like, trucks on the train tracks.
Yeah, like, God, that's gonna make you go deaf. I'm not stealing a pretzel. Or fuse.
Not that bad.
We're trying to do better, other than the fact that all of our friends keep pushing us to do illegal shit. Yeah, like the buddy system. You don't know the shit I've seen. Alright. She from here? Like...
She's not from here. Why did you answer? I love these conversations because, like, every moment that passes is like, I shouldn't be talking to these people. They're children. I shouldn't be talking to them.
Yeah.
Like, the interactions are so stilted, and it's like, there's this weird, specifically teen vibe of, like, they all are treating you with derision while being implicitly quite pathetic.
Yeah.
And, like, they're not really pathetic. They're teenagers. It's the period of life where you're pathetic. But, like...
Yeah. It's the period of life where you're growing to be a human, and it's incredibly awkward, and you're gonna do some sad shit.
Yeah, like, just... like, hanging around underground with your buds every free day possible is a teen thing, you know?
Yeah. It's a thing only teens can do. As an adult, you're just seen as a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
And possibly dangerous. Oh, can I actually, like...
No, I guess not.
I can't buzz up. Can I take the stairs this time? Having learned my lesson? Yes! Oh, shit! This is just easy access to Roofbird. Hi, Roofbird. I wouldn't be surprised if a coyote wandered into our snack falcon with fucking Greg. He would probably feed it, name it, put like a hat on it, and then send it on its way.
That's one thing I love about London is that we have so much green space and, like, not protected, but, like, unused land very close to, like, town that, like, even though we are categorically a city, there's still shit like that happens. Like, were you around where there was a bear in Byron?
No. Wait, I heard about this. I was not around for it, though.
So, Byron is what we call a bunch of jagoffs.
Yeah.
It's... You know how, like, most cities have, like, little suburbs that are, like, a cross between a small town and a suburb, and they try to have small town energy even though they're like economically part of the city.
Yeah.
Byron is that, but it's like the most self-obsessed masturbatory wannabe bougie thing. Like, it's a tiny suburb off of town that'll get the nicest Starbucks in all of Ontario kind of thing.
Yeah. Be really proud of having the nicest Starbucks in all of Ontario.
And the big thing is, like, there's places that have names, right? There's Woodfield and Wortley and Northridge and all kinds of stuff, but all of the people who live there acknowledge the fact that it's the name for the neighborhood. Byron still thinks it's a town because there's a road called Snake Hill, which technically makes it so that you go from seeing buildings to seeing trees to seeing buildings again, so they think they're separate. Now, turns out they're separate enough that a black bear will just walk into town one day, and, like, it's one of those things where, like, it's a black bear. It's not a grizzly. It's a black bear. So, like, they get scared off.
Yeah, they're friends, so long as you don't fuck them.
So, like, nobody was in danger, but everyone's hiding inside while animal control are, like, basically just tracking a bear all the way through the town. And if I remember correctly, it took, like, 6 hours.
Yeah, I will never forget. I used to live really, really close to campus, and campus has a lot of trees around there. Like, there are a lot of forests around campus. And I would just be walking through a parking lot, and there would just be a couple of deer just like, dead of night. You just see a bunch of deer walking, and you're just like, I don't know what to do in this situation because you're a deer.
My favorite thing is seeing traffic get repeatedly stopped at multiple locations in the city by passing geese.
Yes, just completely fucking roadblocked because geese don't want to move out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
We have now met Angel, apparently. And, another train rider.
I really wonder, would you be able to get away with train hopping? Because, like, way back in the day, in, like, the 20s, it used to be, like, the main way to get place to place.
Yeah.
Like, hobo wasn't specifically just homeless people. It was people who go from town to town on trains, and they're specifically a working demographic.
Yeah.
But, like, train cops and, like, train security just got really hardcore because of them, and so then people stopped. But nowadays, like, I don't think anyone's going to stop you from just hopping onto an open train car and nobody noticing, you know?
Yeah, like, I don't think there would be anything stopping you other than they probably have it, like, under lock and key a lot more, so it would be harder to do. But you'd probably be able to at least ride on the top in worst case scenario. But, like,
the thing that I think... Oh, you wouldn't want to be on the top. You'd get clipped by signs. That'd be extremely dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
The only thing that I think would be a problem is, like, we might actually just have enough of, like, a computer-operated and automated train system that, like, would there even be empty cars?
Probably not.
Like, I feel like a system would probably be in place to have, like, X amount of empty cars and, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there would be any sort of openings for empty cars. I just genuinely don't think. And if it is, it's like, it's not empty, but, like, you don't want to be standing in it.
Yeah.
Like, they're not making space for people to stand in it.
Nope. Can you imagine? You're like, yes, here we go on a train car, and you lean back, and then the train starts up with a jolt and a bunch of pallets slide directly at you.
Right? That would fucking terrify me. And, like, they're not always super secure either. Like, have you seen a couple of videos? There are a couple of videos online of transport truck drivers who have, like, loads of soda and, like, beer and stuff But they're in one of the ones that opens via the side based on
Mm-hmm.
like a very thin tarp, and they're trying to like back out of a place after doing a delivery, and it all just kind of comes crashing down because it wasn't secured, and so all the bottles end up putting pressure on the tarp. The tarp just pops open, and all the bottles just come pouring the fuck out.
God, shrink wrapping pallets is just the whole thing. Like, and the funny thing is, like, you think of the slapstick, right? But really, it's one of those things where it wouldn't be slapstick. Like, just getting a forklift and carrying a pallet and making a turn. If you're not wrapped, that thing's come apart.
Yeah.
But like, no matter what you do, if there's enough speed and the coefficient of friction is overcome in the right way, you're just gonna get a whole ass shrink wrapped pallet coming at you. Like,
Yeah. And those things are hefty.
yeah.
Oh man, I hated when I had to do deliveries at a Tim Hortons once. Those fucking pallets have so much weight behind them.
Yeah. Did you have to have like a manual skid steer?
We didn't, because we didn't have one.
Ooh.
So I had to load it onto a cart and then bring it into an elevator, and the elevator was in a hallway that you had to approach and enter the elevator at just the right angle in order for this thing to fit in. Otherwise, it just fucking wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so I had to do that, and they would unload it right into the middle of the store. And so it would be like 3 a.m. that we're doing this, and you just have to like hammer these deliveries. You like load them so goddamn quick because you do not have time to waste.
When I worked at the movie theater, like, we had a manual skid steer just because it was like so big, the physical space, because it's like when you're there as a worker, it's not all these different theaters, it's all the snaking hallways between the theaters. So like, even if you're just getting something from the loading dock to like the stock room, that's like a long hallway and then a turn and then more long hallway. And then if you have to get anything to like a secondary stock room, because we had a couple of secondary stock rooms for like non-food items, so stuff like promo materials would be brought there, and like we got that really frequently, like the magazines and stuff. We would have boxes of magazines that were literally like, it's ink soaked wood.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like a thick, heavy block of wood for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And you'd like, it's one of those things where I think they could not have not had a skid steer, because otherwise they just would have been fined on the spot by OSHA, because you would have to get like an entire pallet full of magazines every couple of weeks and bring them down a hallway, turn, down a hallway, through a set of double doors, through the lobby, past the lines, even if they're full. And then after that, you go all the way down to the intersection and then make another turn, and then you have to move technically inside a theater, because there's a vestibule with 2 doors on either side.
Yeah.
So it's still muffled, but you have to be super quiet. And then you go inside a third, like, hard to see door on the side, and your skid steer doesn't even fit in properly.
Yeah, that sounds so fucking accurate.
But you know what? Didn't have to take down the skids. So you still got me beat.
They were so fucking... The worst thing was you had to load these things up, and you had to do it quick, and you had to go really fucking... Like, it was constant. It was goddamn constant with this delivery. And so you would try and load it into an incredibly cramped elevator, but the boxes were larger than the cart.
Yeah.
And so they stuck out and would get stuck in the elevator, and you're like, motherfucker, god damn it. And then the elevator door starts to close, and if that's not the biggest moment of anxiety, because the elevator door starting to close pushes the boxes. And so you just have like a box like avalanche, and like, oh my god. It's the worst. And then, of course, the elevator just starts going, eh.
Oh, the scream.
So we're going to get donuts, I think.
Donut Wolf.
And that's all the people I've kissed. One and a half.
I don't know. I've kissed a lot of people. I don't even know all the people I've kissed, bro.
God, so many. I kissed so many people.
I'm just kissing everywhere, bro. Just big kissing.
Did Angus want this to be a private thing, or like... Let me get them flapjacks, Angus. Oh boy. Dr. Flapjacks. Dude. You may have just hit someone. Okay. You don't drive on a flat.
This is just... It's so relatable, like... Being like... Wait, have none of you had to solve a problem on your own before?
People fix tires. It's a thing people do. Well, only when you have a spare.
Mm-hmm.
Or like something you can put over the hole in your tire, and also a pump to pump it back up.
Ooh.
Oh no. Angus, no. He's very much a not happy human being, and they are very much not having a good sort of dialogue. Look at those woods. This is a perfect place to dump a body that's tough to find. Good body dumping woods. Could go see if there's any bodies in there. Okay, it won't let me go search for bodies. And it's also being merciful and not letting me be a dick and jump on their car. We can fix a flat tire. Sticks, rocks, leaves, wood, dirt. None of those things are valid. I can whittle a wrench out of a log.
It's a tactic.
I could like train an owl to do owl tricks. Fucking love that thought process there. Hey buddy. We could call someone. Do people just not carry cell phones because there's no goddamn signal in town? Is that what's going on here?
I guess so.
Okay. There's a spare tire. Sweet. Dude.
If you have a spare in the back of your car, doesn't it usually have a jack with it? Like, isn't it usually an entire kit, and then when you take the spare out, there's the tire iron and the jack?
I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was literally like a hand-me-down car of a hand-me-down car where the jack got used once and never put back.
Yeah.
But even still, you don't... Like, you need a jack. Jacks are very useful, but there's alternatives.
Yeah.
The car can support its own weight on 3 tires.
You just don't want it coming down the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is gonna be awkward.
Serial killed is a nice one.
She said, "Too bad you didn't start doing drugs." I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
I feel like Greg is the kind of person who would smoke weed and then be like, "This is making me calm, happy, and not anxious. I don't like this."
This is altering my mood to the point where I'm no longer anxious and can feel emotions, and like I don't want this now.
Yeah, it's the usual warning of like, yeah, just remember, weed intensifies things. So you're like, okay, so my crippling dread, is that gonna be intensified?
Feel like it's gonna be intensified.
Yeah, that's one thing that bugs me with like, whenever people talk about weed, it's very much like a dialogue between the evangelists and the teetotalers.
Yeah.
When in reality, like, it's a substance. There's ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like, smoking anything is going to be bad for you because there's some sort of foreign smoke in your lungs.
Yeah.
This is
in
particularly...
general, lungs are only for air and carbon dioxide. That is their function. Putting other things in, bad, but different degrees of bad.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, it's a psychotropic substance. It's very much the same as, like, don't just randomly take someone's prescription medication. That's probably not going to be good for you.
Do we want 6 chariot wheels or 6 doom nuts? Let's go doom nuts.
Limited edition.
Alright. No eternity sauce.
So are you familiar with a YouTube dude called Noel Miller? Works with Cody Co sometimes?
Nope, not familiar.
So the guy's a commentator. Really good channel. Funny dude. And he has something called Weird DMs, and it's literally him, like, basically calling on his fans to bring him, like, stories and that kind of stuff. Usually there's a theme, and, like, he gets people to put their voice or face to it. Like, you can request that it's not seen, but, like, he wants you to do it so he can see, right?
Yeah.
And, like, it's funny stories for different reasons. But this one dude who comes on, like, he clearly is a dude who's taken an improv class or two, maybe a comedy class. And this dude tells the best fucking story about how back in the day, him and his, like, high school buddies, because he was training to be a quarterback, so he had to, like, go... Or, not a quarterback. What's the position? It's like... Because there's one specific position where you have to be just meat, right? Not linebacker.
You're just a lineman, aren't you?
Anyways, I feel like it was something more specific, but I'm going to assume just a lineman because he needed to get fucking thick, you know?
2020 in a nutshell, baby!
Yeah!
Rolling it!
But, like, the guy's describing this thing they would do called getting barreled, because you would go to Cracker Barrel and eat a bunch of food and then shit your fucking brains out. And, like, as they're describing this, like, I hate this so much because it is so blind to the fact that there's some working class person who's gonna have to fix this.
Yeah, I know, right? I hate this so much.
I was the dude who had to fix this shit.
I luckily wasn't the dude who had to fix this shit.
You know that's why I quit Silver City, eh?
Yes. Someone asked you to... Yeah, that honestly, whenever someone says they worked, like, a cashier job or, like, any job that would require you to go into a bathroom and clean, it's never the actual workload. It's always this that causes them to quit. Every single fucking time. And it's yes, not... Hello There, Fair Maiden. This game does look very cute. It's an adorable game.
It is excellent.
It's an adorable game that causes existential crises to occur.
Small ones.
You know, the ones that only last for like 2 hours once you stop playing.
See, here's the thing, though. I didn't quit because of some bad bathroom experience, right? This is why I quit. Step one is like a year or two before I quit, because I worked there for a few years. And like this was reasonably early on. Like when I started working there, you didn't get anything extra for cleaning up the bathroom. You got a paycheck, you know? So like everyone had to do it, and then someone would like draw the short straw or volunteer or whatever. Now I have a strong stomach. So I would volunteer. It, like not readily. No one's like, please, please pick me. I want a touch of vomit.
Yeah.
But like I could handle it, so it would come down to me. And then bit by bit, things changed. And we had a really, really good manager who cared about people, like, you know, enjoying their jobs. And she started doing this thing where if you would do stuff like that, or stay late, or work through a break, or whatever, like, uncool thing, like, management needed you to do, they would give you, like, a little $5 gift card to the store, which was useful because, like, a $5 gift card when you have the employee discount is enough for, like, your lunch break food.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, like, yeah, you're getting a free lunch. What I didn't notice until it was too late was that they would come to me first, and I would assume they weren't coming to me first. And I would sometimes say things like, I'll do it if no one else will. And then no one else would.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was able to handle that. Because there is a perverse pride in doing a dirty-ass job, because you know it's not because you're this gross goblin who does these things, it's because no one else has the fucking balls. No one else wants to reach behind a goddamn toilet covered in PPE to try and fix, like, a diarrhea squart.
Yeah.
But, like, it was the annual meeting, and there were some people that would bring up, right? Like, there's one dude who, like, he was a master's student, I think, and he'd been working there since, like, high school. And so, just like he'd been there so long that he had dibs. And so he would always be working like Saturday mornings doing like the pre-open, like boil out, change out the fryer stuff. So he did boil outs. He did the presentation being like, hey, this is a like really dangerous process. You need heavy PPE and you need to be ready for burns because this is like hundreds and hundreds of degree oil that we're going to need to change out and prep and everything. And they go to another dude who was a similar situation. This guy was in his 30s, and it was one of those things where, like, this dude obviously had his own personal projects and pet projects and coding things, and, like, he would just, you know, come in for a couple shifts a week because it was consistent income to help supplement.
Yeah.
And he would always be on maintenance, so, like, he was there talking about, like, what you need to do, like ladder safety, changing signs, like, appropriate electricity stuff. And then they go, all right, so for... they had some really shitty corporate word, like, but for use of the bio kit. That's what it was. They brought me up for use of the bio kit, and there was this moment where I went, you didn't promote me. You didn't promote me when I applied to be a supervisor. And when you did, each time you said I should apply the next time because all the other candidates were really good, because they were. And then you stopped assigning supervisors to my shifts. You're just doing this because you don't want to tell anybody else to clean up puke. You bastards!
What happens if I don't go for another donut? Do we just, like, chill?
I don't
like,
think
this is getting real awkward real quick, and I've been going for the demon donuts each time.
Yeah.
The ones that look the most satanic. And, oh no. I'm gonna get sick. But, like, this is real fucking awkward to be the third wheel here, because they're clearly having a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, Greg is breaking into grocery stores. In fairness, they were all his idea. Hey, we never stole car batteries. Okay, yeah, fair enough on that one. Don't eat another fucking donut. No, I want that one, damn it. I wonder if I could steal them out of their hands.
One thing I'm glad that I don't share with May is the fucking impulsive bad decision making.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, but not to this extent.
Well, especially, like, it's one thing to be like, oh no, eating too much food, but it's like, You got gut issues. I've got pain issues, which make it difficult to eat large amounts of food because that's a
Yeah.
thing. So both of us are looking at this with like, oh god,
She ate like 5 donuts. What the fuck?
that's like a lot of donuts.
That's a lot of donuts. It makes me think of the like, cause when we worked at when I worked at Tim's,
Mhm.
it was I worked in Niagara Falls, and there were a lot of American families that would visit.
Mhm.
And in the morning, their breakfast would be 2 dozen donuts for a family of 4. And they would go through the pack, and I'm like, how?
Like it. The thing is, there's like people will be like, Americans internationally, and it's weird being a Canadian because for almost every other intent and purpose, we're Americans, right? We have
Yeah.
similar
Oh, we
TV,
are
we have
so
similar
similar.
products, we like operate in the same economic. Like, let's be clear, North America is an economic system,
Yes.
and then there's these weird governments called the U.S., Canada, and Mexico that get in the way.
Yeah.
Like, the economic system is North America, and then that connects to other large economic systems.
Yeah.
But even then, even though we're just a border away, Americans, man, how do you eat that shit? I remember we went on a family vacation, and it wasn't like we went all the way down to Mississippi and had like, like a diner dinner with like a whole bunch of fried shit. It's not like we were like, oh yeah, let's go to a theme park in California and eat like the biggest cake we had. We just, like, the first place we could stop for food after getting over the border, we just went to like a default ass diner, and like it's like they doubled the grease. They doubled it.
Yeah. Sheep are cool.
Sheep are real dumb is what they are.
For some reason, I opened the gate. What did they do? Immediately bolted. They ran across the field and into the woods, and there's this really steep hill that went down to the interstate.
Ooh.
Meow. But did they drop their wool like Minecraft? Like the truck just goes by and it's just the wool like hovering vaguely above the ground.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. And into the woods, and no one ever saw him again.
All right, I'm gonna be back in a bit. I gotta go to the bathroom.
And then the tattoo. Oh, God. You failed the sheep. Just like, everything has failed us. God damn it. No one even denies it. No one tries to talk you out of leaving here. God damn. They have to leave town. We definitely need the clarification on whether Angus truly loves us or not. And then May came back to town. But what? I disagree with all of this so far. Greg's the one that pulled a fucking knife on us and said, let's stab each other in the hand. Yeah, but he's the one that's gotta fucking grow up. No, it's fine. And all of the the stuff that we did, all the stupid pranks.
I got back to sprinklers.
Yeah. So, Greg is saying that we need to let him grow up when all of our hangouts have been stuff that he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
He just needed us to go along with him. And that's kind of really fucking shitty.
Yeah, like, it's that weird thing where it's like you can't blame someone for being an enabler. If you're letting them enable you, a third party can blame one person for being the enabler and the other person for engaging in the bad behavior. But like of all the people who kind of have the right of things, it's Angus being like, May, you're bad for Greg.
Yeah.
Angus is the one who's right.
Yeah, Angus is the one who's right. They need the separation until Greg can be a fucking adult. Like... But like,
well, yeah, and especially it's like it's
bullshit.
Especially, it's not just like a learning thing where it's like learning to be. Because I'll be clear, it's a both. Like Greg needs to be an adult, but at the same time, like it's not just that. Like the dude obviously has some kind of something going on, like ADHD or some trauma stuff or something.
Hardcore.
And so it's like I've had those friendships with people where it's just like, I can't be around you because we will murder each other.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just want him to apologize for bringing us to a forest and stabbing our hand. Like, how was I enabling you when I'm going, this is a terrible fucking idea. This is fucking dumb. We shouldn't be doing this. Oh, no. We're doing a crime with Angus now? Why?
I've actually never seen this version. Unless you... Did you build it when I was gone?
No. This was in the apartment when we started talking with Greg before we left.
If I remember correctly, if you do, instead of the one where you break into the grocery store, if you're hanging out with Bea, you end up hanging out with Greg later, and he picks the head, but you end up, like, turning this thing on in the apartment, and, like, putting different arm pieces and, like, joints on it. You start to customize the limbs.
Oh, okay. So it's because I didn't hang out with him consistently that
Actually, I think it's because you hung out with him, it counted that as the version you got, maybe?
Yeah, interesting. Like, I hung out with him so we got the head. But then I didn't hang out with him because I wanted to, diversify our friendship.
I will say, this game basically processes, like, is this the Greg route, the Bea route, or the both route?
Yeah, fair enough. I think we're on a both route. Because it seems pretty good. We seem to be flip-flopping daily.
It's not very firm. It just kind of affects, like, the events that happen. There's a few things that are outside of that that'll affect the playthrough, too. Like, I have never gotten the one where you hang out on the tracks with that kid. Never.
Yeah.
I have, however, gone to, what's his name? Germ's house for dinner.
Really? You can go to Germ's house for dinner. All right.
He has a trampoline.
He has a trampoline. Is that why you wanted me to keep going to the left? So I could talk to Germ?
Because Germ's cool, man. He's just weird.
That's fair, but he's weird.
The way I see it, there's offensive weird, there's explain to people weird, and then there's add to the atmosphere weird.
Yeah, that's fair. It moves.
Like, there's some people where it's like, okay, you're being weird and I don't want to be around you right now.
That's like the fucking people who put Toto's Africa on a solar panel in in the middle of the desert to play. Like, that's what that is. I'm expecting it to be like a solar-powered animatronic thing that's just in the forest, and every night it just freaks the hell out. Hi, Dad.
See, that's the good weird. You don't need to explain to your friends, hey, just before we get there, this is Greg. You know, he's a good guy. Just
Yeah.
he has a bit of an energy.
Yeah.
Like this is genuinely just like that's the kind of weird that makes life more beautiful.
Yeah.
Like we need to live in a world where people put shit in the world. You know?
Yeah.
People put shit in the woods.
I could do without the stab your hand events, but like all in all, pretty fucking good. It's a good energy when directed constructively.
Exactly, right? Like there's the thing is the world needs artists bar none because art is nice, but really the world needs artists because otherwise I think they're going to commit crimes.
Yeah.
There's definitely some artists where it's like
you don't want to get rejected from art school, that's for fucking sure. Yeah.
I'm going to start my own art school.
With Nazis and racism. Oh, god damn it.
One thing that I find really emblematic of the weirdness of Nazi ideology is, you know, Goebbels? They changed the rules for who would be barred from working and who would be euthanized so that Goebbels was allowed to be in the party. He had a severe limp and a club foot, and that was like his thing.
Yeah.
And so basically, instead of being like, I guess, you know, people with differences and deformities are still perfectly able to work within a world, it was like, no, we're going to make it so that if that happens, you get to stay and everyone else gets murdered. That's how we're going to do it. And it's like, oh, right, you're Nazis. You don't believe in anything. You're just looking for more and more protracted reasons to kill someone and blame it on them. Yep. That's what it is.
Now we're watching TV with Dad while we freak out about our life. Finally fucking breaking down and just discussing what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because May hasn't told anyone yet. And you don't know what May's done.
I don't know what May's done at all. But she went down a fucking path.
Mm-hmm. This was playing when you came in on the bus, by the way.
Yeah, I saw it on the TV. I remember.
And I think this is the first time we've done it, but every night you're able to watch TV with Dad. So it's like genuinely the moment where your parents weren't there, he was sitting there watching Garbo and Malloy.
That's fucking great. Yeah, I didn't realize you could do multiple dialogue options with Dad at night in order to watch TV with him. I probably would have done that. Because that's what my dad and I do.
Yeah, I will say this game has a lot of replayability.
Yeah, definitely. I've been missing out a lot of stuff.
Can't have a church without potlucks. You could, Malloy, but it would be a whopper.
What?
Exactly.
What? Go contact the dead. Yeah. Man, who are they calling up? Let me just get a Ouija board with Jesus.
Coming up next, contacting Etika at 3 a.m.
Oh, no. God, those videos are trash.
Yep. The nice thing and the horrific thing about YouTube is that anyone can make a video.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Whether you're doing, like, there's someone I know, I haven't watched any videos, I should, but, like, who does guided, like, silent, just camcorder walks through the woods.
Yeah! Yo,
that shit's cool.
I've subscribed to someone who does that too.
Oh shit! I should send you the link to the person who does it in town.
Oh really? They do it in town here? Cool.
Yeah.
Like I discovered there's a YouTube channel that I watch that is a like therapist reviews media, where they'll like go through and talk about scenes in a movie of like people basically breaking down and what their fucking mental state is at that point.
Yeah.
And discussing why and how they got there and like things they can do to improve and like how certain behaviors are actually good even though they seem a little bit counterintuitively good or like on the right path kind of good. And what he uses the channel and he credits the channel and I'm hoping he actually got permission from the person to use all the footage. And so I just kind of went, yeah, all right, I'm gonna go subscribe to that one too, and just watch a dude walk through an English countryside. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Because it's pleasant, right? And it's a place that you don't get to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially like if you don't travel much, even like on a local scale, if you don't go to like places where the biome shifts a little, even like a few hours away, like you don't know how specific nature is.
Yeah.
Like forests in particular, I need to find it, but there's like really good like video essays on like how forests are designed in video games because like they're some of the most complicated things out there.
It's very difficult to design a forest because if I was doing it, it would be like those artificial forests where they put the trees perfectly in a row, all separated out and spaced out, because I would just be like, yeah, just put them all in a row. Fuck it. No one will know the difference, right? No one will be able to obviously see that this is artificial as hell. It's like, dude has to traverse through a forest. Easy, just pick apart the tree and now he's got a row to walk through. Like, fuck, it would be awful.
Yeah. It's interesting too, like Breath of the Wild has them where there's some that you can see clearly are like tended or like parkish growths, and then some of them are actual like wild forests, and you can tell because like there's underbrush that gets in the way, there's like different stages of growth. It's neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we wakey today, whatever, I can't remember what day we're on.
That's how my life's going too. It's okay.
Welcome back to day 400 of our 2-week quarantine.
Yeah. I was for the April Fool's Blood wine that's coming up. I posted something on April Fool's being like, "Hey, scheduling, but here's last year's just in case you want to see it." And I realized it's like, oh my god. Like, and it was that weird thing where it's like, oh my god, we've been running Bloodwine for a year. Oh my god, we haven't seen each other in a year.
We've been.
Oh my god, we did that in quarantine.
Yeah, not only have we run Bloodwine for over a year, our campaign is over a year old, almost a year old.
Like I remember the old one. I was like, holy shit, I'm ending this at 50 episodes because that's so many. And now I'm looking at this and like, oh shit, we're like halfway to when I have to conclude this campaign, so it's watchable. Although, I don't know, this one has a lot less, like, cohesion than the last one, and in a good way for a stream. The last campaign needed a lot more constant watching, whereas this one's very much like, what are we doing today, boys?
Yeah, it's like, alright, what crazy town has Will concocted for us this time? How thirsty are we today?
And then every now and then you or Gabe or Chelsea will be like, I'm sorry, I didn't write that down, or oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember anything. And it's like, you know what, that's good.
Yeah,
that keeps us from getting too in the weeds. That's good for the game.
Yeah, because like the last campaign, god damn, we had strings drawn to pictures. Like we were Pepe Silvaing all over the place, just seeing life drinkers everywhere. Everyone was suspicious. Someone would come up to us. We were like, I don't fucking trust this dude.
There was definitely a point where I realized it had to be over a certain level of convoluted, so we would keep recapping.
Yeah.
You gotta be under or over. You can't be right around there.
Yeah. Oh god. But yeah, this campaign is a lot more loose, and we've had to do like multiple breaks in between. Simply because quarantine life. But it was this time last year that we had decided that we weren't going to do it in person anymore because lockdown. and so we were switching to the online format, and so I was running the game. I was running the test game, so that it wouldn't affect our actual campaign.
Yeah.
And that was a thing.
I stopped doing grid combat because it's a bit much to get it put together in Roll20, and even then it was very much like, this is for when it makes sense to be having that like granular stuff with the massive party you have.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to bring up grid combat unless it's absolutely necessary, like again.
Well, when was the last grid combat we did? Chroma Squad?
Yeah, and even then that was because you were defending a port and there were multiple angles of attack, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you would describe, okay, there's a dude on a bridge, a dude in an alley, and, like, people across, like, your bow, we would have just been like, what?
Well, and that's the thing, right? It also depends on the party. Like, the party that we have right now. Welcome.
We got Ant. Well... Want to let us know we ran a test on that arm, and arm belonged to a middle-aged man in medium build, and he was dead when it was removed. Oh, perfect. That means someone dropped it out of their bag from the person they murdered.
I was reading up the story of, did you hear about, like, the dude on Reddit who ate his own foot? It's a wholesome story. I'll preface it, but, like...
It sounds familiar, but I'm drawing a blank on it.
It was, like, apparently, if you want anything happen to an amputated limb, it's literally just down to medical ethics of the actual doctor doing it. Like, there's no standardization, so it's a question of, does the doctor believe that you should throw out the limb, or does the doctor believe that it's a body part that belongs to you?
Yeah.
And that seems to broadly be what it is. Like, they'll check. Especially because you don't end up getting something amputated for no reason. There's usually context, and it might have had some kind of infection, or like...
Yeah.
But in this case, the dude had gotten into a motorcycle accident, so it didn't actually come off. It was just mangled to the point where it was harder for him to walk with the mangled foot than with a prosthetic.
Yeah.
And basically the guy was like, hey, can I have it? They were like, what do you want to... Sure. And like, basically the guy got his friends together and he fried up his own foot and fed them to him.
I mean,
in a case of like ethical cannibalism.
Yeah, it's the case of ethical cannibalism. It's one of the things that's perfectly fine. It's the dude's foot and he's just like, yo, this isn't going to kill me because it's separated from my body already. And so, yeah, if you ever wonder what person tastes like, go for it.
I know I told you this, but I don't know if I've mentioned it on stream, the stuff with like my nonsense wisdom teeth.
Not drawing a blank. Or like not remembering anything about
Oh, perfect. So technically I had 6 wisdom teeth removed from a surgery standpoint.
Ah, neat.
One of them was found during an x-ray. It's called a supramaxillary tooth, and it basically is just it's a tooth that isn't supposed to be there. It was growing, and it was this weird, like, pock-marked spheroid inside of my gum. And it's one of those things where they're like, haha, yep, you need surgery, man.
Yeah.
Like, not urgently, you can schedule it in a couple months or whatever, but, like...
You need it.
Yeah, like, it's either abscessing or it's coming out the side, and neither of those is a desired result. So they went and got it in, and it's functionally the wisdom tooth surgery. They put you under general, I believe. Or no, not general. They put you under local. And, like, they went in, they took it out. There it goes. And they let me keep it because it was a weird tooth. And I remember I had it all those years, and then I had to get my actual wisdom teeth taken out, and I was so excited because I was going to be like, yes! I get to have all these teeth, and then they wouldn't let me keep them.
I will be the tooth gremlin.
Yeah! And they wouldn't let me keep them, and I was like, aw. And then I found out afterwards, double aw, they found a second supramaxillary tooth on the other side.
And they didn't let you... Aww.
Yeah. I actually I don't actually remember if I was under local or general for that one. I think I was under local because you're normally supposed to be local. I don't know if I just don't remember because of the laughing gas, or if I was actually in, like, under general because they found the other one and they were like, okay, we're taking way too much shit out of your mouth for you to be awake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like, that's the shit where it's like, come on, let people have their own body parts. It belongs to you.
Yeah.
It's your arm.
Aw, hi, Pastor. Bruce is going home.
Oh, no.
They're dead, aren't they? They're dead, aren't they? Thanks for letting me know.
Oof.
He's in the he's like dead in the woods or hit by a train or something.
It's ambiguous. Like, it genuinely is quite ambiguous.
Like, that is just yikes.
It's kind of how life goes, though, isn't it?
Yep.
People come and go, and you kind of don't really know unless you follow them.
Yep.
It is one thing that I like Facebook for, is, like, I want to know how, like, people from high school are doing in a way where I never have to talk to them again.
Yeah. I would like to keep tabs on people without them really, like, caring. Like, it's not a creep thing. It's just kind of like they are informing me of their lives based on what they put online.
Yeah. And honestly, like, sometimes that's what you want. You have that part in the back of your head where you're like, I wonder if this person's still doing okay. But you don't need to talk to everybody in your life. You don't need to keep up with all the people you used to see. Especially, like, you don't have to talk to the people you knew in elementary and high school. You don't.
Yeah, you really don't.
Like, I'm sure some people had good friendships, and I had some good friendships from high school, but really, like, especially now that all these years have passed, and, like, you learn things as you get older, especially politically, in terms of how you should treat people. Like, I don't want to be around any of those people again. Like, we just made racist, sexist, and homophobic and transphobic jokes. Yeah. And now I'm at least one of those that I didn't know I was back then, so, like, that's awkward as fuck.
Same.
Raise your hands if you were homophobic as shit, because it was internalized.
Woo!
Or the ultimate pansexual cope, which is, I can't be gay. I'm attracted to women.
Yup. That's what counts.
As long as I stay on one side of my sexuality, like a grade 8 dance, I'll be fine.
Like a grade 8 dance. That's such a great way to describe, like, pan denial. It's just, you know, like a grade 8 dance, you're just kind of off to one side and refusing to cross that fucking line.
Yeah, it's like, as long as I act like gay people are weird / gross / hilarious, and as long as I think about, well, of course you can aesthetically appreciate them, which, to be fair, is an actual argument. Like, you can find people attractive in a non-sexual and non-romantic way, just because, like, some people look good.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're sitting there being like, look, anyone can appreciate when a man has a very nice butt, but I'm not gay. You put yourself into the weirdest cycles and pits of denial.
Oh, yeah.
Like May's pit of denial, where it's like, everything's fine. We don't need to talk about what happened at school.
Look,
it's just that there's crazy things happening here.
Look, I'm just tired, all right? I'm just fucking tired, all right? I just have a bit of a headache.
Yeah.
Someone else is in my head, and my oh, yep. Yep, these are emotions.
Yeah.
So, she doesn't want to hang out with us today, because we're tired. God, I can keep looking at the statue, can't I?
that conversation has such powerful energy for like when you talk about a more serious like mental health symptom and someone doesn't know how to respond. It's like, yeah, I've just been getting a lot of whispers lately. I'm sorry, that sucks.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. I got nothing. I'm not a doctor. I don't even know. I don't have the same symptoms. I haven't looked up any of this. I don't know what to do. Yeah.
See, that's why I feel like Greg is a really good friend. Is like, you're going different places, you're not good for each other, and you're not going to be friends forever. But like, in a way that Bea doesn't, Greg is there for shit he doesn't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Anyhow, I just saw Sal Joel comment, wait, huh? And I don't know what it was in response to.
I was doing the...
There's so many things it could be wait, huh for.
That was roughly around where we were doing pan denial.
Well, you see, if you're attracted to women, that doesn't mean you're not attracted to everyone else. It just means you're attracted to women.
Yeah. The weirdest thing was having the realization that, like, oh, wait a moment. I guess those fantasies I had in high school do kind of mean that I had those thoughts.
Yeah. Same with, like, the realization that you don't have to be camp, you don't have to be feminine, you don't have to be exclusively queer, and you don't have to be hardcore queer, like, please ream me with a 12-inch dildo in the ass kind of thing. You can just want to date guys a little sometimes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to participate in an entire activity.
Are we playing
just think
Frisbee
guys are a
with
little
Angus?
okay.
Yo, can we play Frisbee with Angus? This sounds like what we need right now.
Mm-hmm.
We need a rational human being.
Yeah. Which of these characters? I think we're both vibing on Angus, right?
Angus is feeling pretty good. I also don't mind Bea's energy. Like, it's low effort energy. Like, it's something that if you really want this to be a close friendship, you are going to have to definitely put the effort in to cultivate it. But for just a friendship that just exists and is what it is, I feel like Bea has the perfect energy for that.
Yeah. It's also like, I feel like Angus, it isn't necessarily like you're going to have to put the effort in. It's just one of those things where it's like, you're just going to have to be willing to be friends, and the information will come out.
Yeah, exactly.
This mission in particular is why Angus is my favorite character in the entire game. Not from like a best character standpoint, just like, I get it, you know? I get the vibes.
Yeah.
He talks about woods shit, and I get the woods shit. Like...
Let's just go into the woods and not touch any of the wildlife or feed it, because that's bad. Wait, was this a place from my dream? Yo.
Almost all of the dream locations are
real
warped.
Places. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They're non-real places, strictly. They are all warps and mishmashes of places from this town.
Fair enough.
Like, the train is the glass factory.
Okay. That makes sense. Never finished a race. Aw. A lime kiln. Limes? Do you put limes in a kiln for some reason? They would just burst after boiling for a while, wouldn't they?
Are you familiar with like lime and limestone and milk of lime and all that stuff? It is actually really well. I mean, I know you know limestone is a rock, but like the industrial processing aspect. I know damn well you know limestone.
Well, clearly I didn't, because I failed fucking the sedimentology course.
I feel like failing sedimentology is how you pass sedimentology.
I learned that I don't fucking care about it.
Sedimentology is the class that teaches you that there's two categories of rocks. Rocks that are rocks, and rocks that are other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, I remember seeing really interesting, like, you can find them on YouTube. Absolute History is a good channel. They have a bunch of, like, documentaries and stuff put together. But, like, when it comes to old jobs, like, being a lime maker was one of the old ones where you would heat up like chunks of limestone really, really hot, and then you would have them in a basket, preferably at the end of a stick. And like this is one of those things where like this would burn your eyes out and sear your hands off and shit if you fucked it up, kind of thing. The way that steelworks were back in like the early 19th century.
Yeah.
But like you would just drop it into cold water and then it would crack and crumble violently until you could like take it out and then just crumble it into dust. And then that would be the actual lime. And then you have milk of lime, which is usable as a caustic agent. But then the actual lime itself you could use to make like primitive mortar.
Okay. That makes sense.
I really recommend looking at like the old historical stuff because it's just one of those weird things where it's like, I guess this is how you make cement if you have like a couple of rocks and a fire and like really primitive technology. Medieval tech in general is really interesting because it's like you find out just how people solved really specific problems in really clever ways.
Fucking couldn't take a course on dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Tragic. When, like... I love that dinosaurs are what got me interested in geology in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And then you find out they're the least interesting part, which is not to lessen the value of dinosaurs. It is to increase the value of everything else.
We had to take the the invertebrates course to study just fucking like shells and how shells moved around in the ocean floor. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of went, if this is going to be this, but more biologically complex, I'm fucking out.
I had the opposite thing where it's like, I thought dinosaurs were cool when I was a little kid, and then I came out of it and I didn't really care about paleo, and even though we had to take it, and then sitting there I was like, why is sludge so interesting? Why am I so fascinated by the idea that something evolved from like a plate with a sensory patch to an articulated plate?
Yeah.
It's cool shit.
It is cool shit. But the memorization involved in that, it doomed me. Because I don't have a memory for anything. I can't.
Well, and that's the problem, is that a lot of schools really prioritize specific types of learning and memorization.
Yeah.
You can see sometimes that there are people where that's all they got, and they've come way too far. And other people where it's like, you're glad they have it because they're way smarter than the grades they're getting.
Yeah.
There's at least a few people I went to school with, not who were like morons or anything, but where it's like, oh wow, you're really smart, and I really hope the profs can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There's even just some stuff that's down to like outdated methodology. Physics was really bad for that, where it's like, you guys realize people have the internet, right? Like,
yes.
You shouldn't be.
Oh my god.
And it's horrific because half the time, especially like first year physics, it's stuff where they assume you don't have calculus, and then once you get up to like third and fourth year, they start teaching you how to derive from base principles, which massively simplifies everything by an extreme degree. Like, just let people Google formulas for the first couple of years. Yeah. It will make them better physicists, not worse.
Yeah, I mean, that's why my physics exam always had formula sheets. You had to write it yourself, but they gave you formula sheets. And writing formula sheets yourself is just cool. It's just a good way to do things.
Yeah. Like, it's a good learning tool.
Yeah.
But it's not how the world works.
Yeah.
People have the internet. Same thing with, like, if you can get to the point where you're like, you know the thing, and you know what the thing is, but you don't know what the word thing is. If you're surrounded by other scientists, which is how most scientists work, you'll be able to figure out what the thing is extremely easily.
Yeah,
if you have Google, you'll be able to figure it out really easily. If you're doing a test, you're going to fail the whole test and get like a 30, because that's how tests work.
We're just sitting here chilling with Angus while he was doing his nice story about limestone and all the cool stuff that we passed along the way here.
I feel like this Night in the Woods stream is just me getting really into a conversation and then going, oh right, we're playing a video game.
Yeah, we're playing a video game. Like that's basically all these streams have become. It's just like there's not a whole lot happening, and there's not a whole lot we can comment on. Like, we're just having a nice moment with Angus. Unless we were like voicing the characters, which I don't know. We do it sometimes, but I don't think it's a thing that consistently would be fun to do.
There's also a very big difference between dialogue that is meant to be read aloud and dialogue that is meant to be read.
Yeah.
Even like I've thought every now and then, like in the same way that I do Bloodline or that we do stuff on this channel, like just doing some writing stuff. But like I can't write these days anymore in that way. Like I can do the rulebook technical writing, and I can do writing to be read, like more like the poetic stuff, but like everything I know about how to structure sentences is not for the written word.
Yeah, like whenever you do some writing, you have to you write it as if it was written, and then you say it aloud and then go, okay, how would I say this as a human being?
Like, and that's the thing, is I kind of have it the other way, especially for the intros to Bloodwine. I kind of sit there and like write things down and erase them and swap them out, but usually I do it while pacing and muttering to myself, because there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't work well written that works really well spoken, like repetition.
Yeah.
Ugly as hell in the written form.
Yeah.
You repeat something twice, and that's the most repetition you can get in. But like written language is all about that stuff, like iterations.
Iteration, rule of thirds, like everything about it.
Tone modulation, and like how quickly you go through a word or a sentence is a big one too. Okay. Constellations.
Are we finding our friends? Or our friends? Am I supposed to remember where the stars are?
Oh no, that's the thing. Neither of you can remember, so you're making up new ones.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I think.
Let's go with this one. Like, I have to I have to draw the line. Alright. What? Hey. Can't I draw?
Oh, maybe there's only one right one.
Or maybe I just did it wrong. Nope. Oh, I actually have to. Damn it! I wanted to do some like Dragon Age Inquisition where I just drew like some fancy shit, but the lines never intersected. I was gonna do the one-armed man. It's a Pope! He breathes fire.
Nice. Fire Pope.
Yeah,
Rubello.
Pope Rubello.
Oh man, that is such an interesting dialogue choice for me.
Do you not know all your saints?
Yeah, like it, especially because it has that implicit like, this is a thing normal people should all know, right?
Yeah, I totally know all the saints.
I keep swapping between like, oh no, I'm a lifelong atheist, we were never religious, and then you realize how much religion you know.
Yeah, well, even still, I believe that atheists should, like, explore religion. Therefore, they should have, like, a basic cursory understanding of a couple of religions, just to know that it's not for them.
Yeah, like you usually are an atheist in opposition to something else, or you would go by agnostic because you just, I was never taught this stuff. And they grew up, like, not necessarily knowing. But like I didn't become an atheist because we weren't raised religious. I became an atheist because we were raised spiritual. You know, like we all prayed to God who was God and were Catholic. Like I was baptized and all that stuff. But like we didn't go to church. We just kind of had a religion.
Yeah.
And like when we weren't religious, it would just be like, okay, I guess you're not religious. And like it's one of those things where we kind of forgot about it. And then at one point, like me, my younger sister, and my dad were all like joking because none of us are religious and we like to, you know, like joke about it. And my mom got mad and it's like, hey, come on, don't say that stuff about God. And I was like, oh, right.
People.
We were raised religious. I forgot.
Yeah, people can have religion. Fuck.
Because like also like I did go to Catholic school, but I only went to grade 2, and that's kind of like not where any of the Catholic shit happens.
Yeah, no. That you're on your basic, like, trying to understand morality.
Mm-hmm.
Golden rule and all that crap.
I was looking through, like, my keepsakes box the other day, and I was looking through, like, old, like, art stuff. Yeah.
It's like that one Doctor Who episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting take for Angus.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to always be the responsible one. So, like, a whale having a world on the back would be sad for him because it does bear all the responsibility at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Saw a whale was like, needs to be carrying something. They can support it quite easily. Swimming in space. Like that one Doctor Who episode with the space whale.
I love space whales, just as an aesthetic choice.
As an aesthetic choice, space whales are pretty fucking fantastic. It's a bell with an eye. Cool.
I feel like with all the time I spent like digging astronomy and using telescopes and hanging out at the observatory, like I would give more of a shit about constellations. But like, I like looking at pretty space things. But like the history of them, the mythology, I don't really know. I know Orion. I know. Like the whole thing with Orion and the Pleiades, and I know like the bears, but that's it.
Yeah, like I know the common ones is, like that's pretty much it. It's not really worth knowing the other constellations.
I think that we use an outmoded way of getting people to find astronomy interesting when we use like constellations.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more interesting to show people the things we actually know about space.
Yeah.
Because it isn't like we're all lying around a fire in the village at night after like we've gone to bed and we're like, where does the world come from? Like if you're looking at space, you've probably made the choice to go outside.
Yeah. Definitely. I haven't made that choice in a long time.
I feel like I would do a lot more astronomy if I had access to a vehicle, but like in town things aren't great, and also because of where we are so close to the Great Lakes, like whether or not you have an available day, like you have to spend time planning and go, not tonight, tonight.
Yeah, you really gotta prepare for that. Childhood. Yeah. No, the whale is talking. Yeah. Wasn't it like Greg's parents also didn't like him? Because he literally said that. He said the line super casually, but it was very telling, his specific wording. They said,
Yeah.
my parents got sick of me, so they sent me to my uncle's for a month. That is a very telling line.
If I remember correctly, I believe there's just no one in this game that has a good relationship with their parents.
That sounds accurate. That sounds really accurate.
I feel like if you, like, no matter what, you can have good and bad relationships with your parents, but fundamentally, the relationship you should have with your parents should be one where you understand there's ways that they're shitty parents, because that means you're learning to parent better than they did. Like, that is fundamentally the process.
Fundamentally, the process is essentially a leapfrog.
Mm-hmm.
Parents give birth to you, and then eventually you should be able to jump over and surpass your parents.
Yeah.
In the same way that your kids would eventually do to you. Like, that is the way that humanity should build and move forward, is build on what we have and improve on it and move past. So recognizing that parents aren't perfect is probably pretty fucking good.
And it's tough too, because when you're a kid, you're in that environment. You don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Everything you know about the world is taught to you by your parents. And if you don't question it, you just won't know until you have the harsh reality of, like, it coming up in conversation.
Yeah, basically. Oh, that's very fun. You try to develop psychic powers. Yeah. You know what? I think a therapist would do really well in this town.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the issue. Who's paying for therapy, and who's building the office?
Yeah.
And who's hiring a therapist?
Yeah. Like, I feel like someone going to university just being like, no, I'm gonna return to this town and hopefully try to improve it. Like,
that's something that I want to, like, if I can do that for the next generations, not necessarily my kids, but, like, you know, like, genuinely, like, if there's any Gen Z people watching, hi, like, that kind of thing. Just, university doesn't get you a job, it gets you edified. It gets you skills, it gets you knowledge. And it's a really good thing to do in your life. Like, genuinely, and this isn't necessarily for Americans because it's way more expensive, but up here in Canada, find out how much debt you'll be in, and ask yourself if it's something you want to do in your life, because it's better than getting a car. Way better than a car.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Like, I always questioned what the purpose of the breadth requirements were in university.
And then you realize it's because you don't get a job.
It's also just because, like, I know a lot of people who would rather just slam out their credits in their specific field and never look at anything ever again. But, like, genuinely, I've used my film, the one singular film course that I took in university in general day-to-day life more than most of my courses that I took during college.
Like, and honestly, they're, like, the breadth requirements, same, like, it's some of the most useful shit I ever learned. Like, I took a introduction to ethics course. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You don't realize the things you don't know, but it's about thought structuring, and it's insane.
Yeah.
I took classical ethics, and that's when you find out, like, the shit when you're baked and you're like, man, that would be cool. That shit people thought of, like, 3,000 years ago, and then thought of shit you didn't, you know? But also, like, it teaches you a lot about bias, ancient philosophy. Like, it tells you, no matter what, if you're getting to the point where you're reading Socrates, you're not just opening a book that has Socrates in it. It's probably like someone told you to read Socrates.
Someone told you to read it, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or you're like, oh, what's the Socratic method? Especially Aristotle's really interesting because he's like a traditional Greek philosopher, knowing all things kind of thing. So he wrote about all kinds of stuff. And it's interesting because it's like, you can see the limits of knowledge about what happens when some knowledge is based on other knowledge. And, like, there's some stuff that is completely wrong because it's based on wrong things. And there's some things where it's like immensely astute observations and conclusions about wrong things. Like, the biological part of Aristotle's writing is really interesting because it's like, you're wrong, but with what you know, you're brilliant. Like,
yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, I feel like the utility of going to university is so that you have something. Like, because really what happens is you're going to get out in the world and you're going to get a job. And the reason they say, like, don't turn your hobby into a job, like your favorite thing, because it'll ruin it, is because, like, really, like, it's because it's about making money and putting food on the table and being a productive society in the one-to-one, we must farm and reap and make bread kind of way. But really, like, you gotta be, like, doing something for the world as a whole. And I don't mean in some grand scheme of things way, but genuinely, like, are you a good friend to your friends? Do you listen to people when they're going through bad times? Do you stick up for people? Are you paying attention when your friends are in danger?
I see that shit. I have come to the conclusion that it's two kids in an adult costume. What do they look like? Tall, wearing some kind of coat. Oh god, that's the ghost. And it can't be like with Bale where we just run away, cause it seems to be there. Hey there, good for a hike. Nice night. I wish we had a phone and like a signal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we're gonna run now.
The marked difference between, like, this is not the first time that Angus has had to, like, talk to a potentially hostile person is tangible.
Yeah. Deep breaths in, out. All right. And we're moving. We are out. Are there more graves than there were originally?
I don't know.
Up, and he's chasing. Well, I'm glad he serial killered us and waited for us to start running. He's resilient. He's a big boy.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's so weird being, like, in particular dealing with, like, the pain disorder shit. It's like the tiniest things will lay you low, so you need a lot of, like, coddling, for lack of a better word. But, like, if you don't need it.
Yep. That's not a good sign. Yeah. All of us need to talk. We need to hash this shit out. Oh yeah, Will, were you ordering weed?
Right, yes, I had to do that. I'm going to do that now. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem.
On the note of pain disorders and weird psychic experiences.
Yeah, I don't know what reminded me of it, but like... Okay, what are we doing? Is there a ghost that's in my head, or is there a ghost following me, or I have no idea?
Do you really want me to tell you? Because I have an informed opinion, and I feel like there's one that might be good, but I would If you have one you want to answer, I want to let you do that.
I am torn between there's a ghost following me and I have no idea.
There's a ghost that's in my head. Pick that one.
There's a ghost that's in my head? Okay. Night after I saw the kidnapping, or what I think is a kidnapping. Had this dream I barely remember, except for this song, this horrible sound, this feeling. And I keep hearing it whenever the ghost gets nearby. It's like someone rips open a hole in my brain. Okay.
I really hope that whoever wrote May and wrote the experiences part gets that, like, there are people out there who have had those experiences too. And I don't mean that to say, like, yo, there are people who've had those, don't be insensitive. Like, but genuinely, like, this is the kind of thing that I feel like someone would be like, oh, okay, explaining a weird supernatural experience, but, like, I've had the brain hole.
Yeah.
I've had, like, some freaky shit happen to me before, and, like, this does not read like supernatural fiction. This reads like someone allegorifying, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like some hardcore dissociative psychotic shit.
Yeah, like all this writing doesn't seem to come from a place of I read this in a psych textbook.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely seems to come from an actual real place.
Yeah. Because it also, like, I feel like what this represents well is the disorientation of going through a health problem that you have not been seen about or diagnosed for. Especially because in this town, it's very much access. Like, if you wanted to go to see a psychologist, where would you go?
Yeah.
You'd go a couple towns over in the lore, like.
Yeah.
But it is tough. Like when you have a thing happening and there isn't a name for it. A name is such a powerful fucking thing when it comes to mental health. Like, you aren't able to find, like, what was I going to say? Support groups, which, like, luckily a lot of that stuff was, like, an acute kind of thing that I've gotten past, like, years and years back. But, like, it is so disorienting having an experience that you're not sure another person has had before, but that you are completely aware is alien. You know?
Yeah. I like that it's just like, mostly I just don't want you going ghost hunting alone. So, like, I'll come with.
Yeah.
It's like, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta listen for the owls, because owls are fucking cool.
They really are.
Owls are one of the things of just like, man, they weren't violent, vicious predators. I would own an owl.
Did you know that Zack Snyder directed Guardians of Gahul?
Zack Snyder. Okay.
Let me double check that, because I just had a brief moment of doubt.
Yeah.
And also because if it's not Zack Snyder, it's someone hilarious. I know that.
I believe that. It seems like a very Zack Snyder type of film for him to work on. It's very much hero formula, and like it really goes along with it. Especially with all the fucking changes they made to it.
Yeah, there it is. Directed by Zack Snyder. Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Gahul.
Fucking legendary. I have like so much of that stuff. I own the game, the movie, and some of the books. That shit was my childhood, though.
Man, fantasy is awesome.
Fantasy's cool.
Fantasy is amazing. Especially because, like, as an adult, you look back and it's like, oh, none of this was just about fun adventures with magic. It was all about shit.
Yeah, it was all about shit.
It's such a good way of communicating and, like, focusing a message through a fictionalization of the setting.
Yeah, which is why when you get stuff that's just, like, generic farm boy fantasy, it's just like, this is just kind of sad now. Like, you look at it and you just go, this is genuinely, like, depressing that someone couldn't actually come up with something for this. of old mining equipment.
That's something that happens out in the boonies that doesn't happen in the city. Stuff just being places.
There is a road that is right by my old house that people would dump anything into. Anything. Fridges, electronics. We came by and they had stapled clothing to the tree. I don't even know why they did that, but they did. So we have a sock tree now. Like, it's so fucking weird.
One of these days I'm gonna move out to a small town. I miss that energy. Sock tree energy.
I do miss small town energy too.
Because, like, if you're somewhere like New York and there's a sock tree, there's a performance artist doing a thing. But, like, if you go out in the boonies and there's a sock tree, it's the sock tree. And you're welcome to staple another sock to the tree.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing about it. It's not an art exhibit. It's not someone making a statement about anything. It's literally just a sock tree. That's all it is. And okay. Anyone got any juice? Guys, wait. If you knew this was gonna happen, you knew. Oh no. Oh god. What the hell is going on?
Lerv.
Poor Lerv. If only I remembered who the hell Lerv was. Because of you, God knows what's gonna happen to this town. Is this literally like the PTA committee that was talking to the pastor earlier? Just everyone in town for the greater gooding it?
This is something I actually, that was pointed out to me recently, how, like, a lot of the craziest shit in the world is usually done with an air of, I can't believe you're forcing me to do this terrible thing, like an understanding that it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, this whole thing acts under this assumption that it's like, it's horrible that we have to do this.
Yeah,
and they don't have to do it.
Yeah, I can't believe that the only way to have a successful town is to murder the quote-unquote undesirables. Dave, Rick, Benny, no. I'm just naming everyone in town that's here. I appreciate it if you stop making us feel guilty about killing you. Oh god. Or are they just sawing his arm off? Irv, calm down. Okay, let's just deal with this. His bones sticking out. And they immediately recognize us. Is that me? Oh, I'm actually supposed to jump. Oh, fuck. I thought that was a cutscene.
They seem so swift in those cloaks because of the bombing.
Like, that's the aesthetic of cloaks that I appreciate.
Can I ask a favor of everyone present? Can we try to keep the masks on after COVID? I like it as an option.
I do like it as an option.
Go, right? Like, I want to be able to go, it's not for my protection, But what mask am I wearing today?
Like, I really do hope that we normalize wearing masks when we're sick, just like a lot of Asian cultures have.
Especially because, man, there's some people that I would like to not have breathing on me.
Yeah, right?
I will say, I've worn cloaks to LARP events. I get why they went out of fashion. Same with capes. They don't work.
Yeah, they definitely don't work.
They look great.
Yeah.
I understand why the half cape was very popular for a long time as an aesthetic choice. But, like, they open in the front, and they expose your entire interior, and because of the fact that they're opened in the front, it cycles out the air, so you don't get an air cushion. Cloaks only work if you hold them shut the whole way down.
Yeah.
Even if they're clasped. That being said, indoors, cloaks are so warm. Like, I have one somewhere. I've packed it away because I'm
they're like
soon,
a giant fucking blanket. Like, of course they're gonna be fucking warm.
They're literally a proto Snuggie. They're amazing.
Yeah. Is no one gonna talk about? Oh. Hello. We got brownies.
I love the realization where you're like, is no one gonna? And then Greg starts moving.
Yeah. He was outside my building last night late. Okay. No response from her parents.
I do like the fact that it's like, is May crazy or is there a cult? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. The answer is just yes.
It's like, it can be both. You can be going through some psychotic and dissociative experiences and experience reality.
Okay. Yeah, this took a sudden hot fuzz turn, and I'm not against it.
It's nice, too, because it's like, I know what's going to happen. But, like, it does fully come together. And, like, obviously, anybody who is writing a story that gets to the point where it's a published game, with some exceptions, you at least try to tie a story together.
Yeah.
This one is one of the tighter ones I've seen.
Yeah,
like,
this is really tight.
Like, every theme. Every theme.
Yeah, it's definitely got everything. We having lasagna? Don't ask if lasagna and brownies make a good combo. It doesn't fucking matter. You have lasagna and you have brownies. They don't need to make a good combo. They're just delicious by themselves.
Yeah. I heard lasagna described as cake once, and, like, it's not cake, but it definitely illuminated me as to, like, why... Isn't lasagna a weird idea? Like flat pasta?
Yeah.
Every other piece of pasta is a tube, except for the rare exceptions, which are like cannoli, cannelloni. Cannelloni. Cannoli's the dessert one.
Yeah.
Like cannelloni, ravioli, like they're all designed to contain a substance. And then you got bow ties and macaroni that are meant to like contain sauce. But basically every other form of pasta is like, we still want this to be like multiples that are distinct objects that are vaguely linear.
Yeah.
And then lasagna is just like, I'm the one that isn't. Womp.
But it's so good. It's a lasagna. So it's a meal that's designed to be messy as fuck.
Yeah. I should have bought a lasagna. I was thinking about it earlier today when I was doing groceries, but now I'm thinking about it as an actual food option.
Yeah,
and I don't eat a lot of pasta, which I've discovered is unusual. And so the rare moments that I want pasta, it's a lot to put together.
They hear noises now in the town or in the building.
Cool.
controller is going nuts.
Doing a big vibe.
We got cat.
Cat.
A cat in the woods.
Cat woods.
I take it we're not feeling very good. Seems like we may have had a rough night. Been on a bit of a bender.
Willem.
But it's fine. We're coming back to town now. Right?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Everything will be alright.
Everything's fine. I'm surprised that May was able to, like, actually walk back to town. She doesn't seem like the person with the best sense of direction, you know?
Yeah.
There should be houses here. Yeah. There should probably be houses here. Well, shit.
Just trees and poles and mailboxes.
Yeah. Maybe this is a mindscape.
Maybe.
In that case, if her mind palace is her hometown, that's kind of a little sad, all things considered. And okay. My controller is not happy.
It's rebelling.
It does not like that sleeping spot. Oh. Okay. Okay. God is in this room, apparently. Okay, they're using present tense. That's good.
It is really telling that the pastor goes, anybody want to say a few words?
Yeah.
And then May's mom says, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
It is always jarring looking at these little animal people and having them mention like real life shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Selmer's having had a divorce.
Yeah. Always been a menace. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you, William. And Goatman!
Golden.
Speak for yourself. God damn. Someone was out there hunting illegally? Uh-huh.
Isn't there a doctor in this town?
You would think there would be a doctor in this town. Oh, it's probably that dude. That dude's probably the doctor in the town. Okay, no, we went to a place. Supposed to be fixing a door. Is this dude just God? Bye, janitor. Like, what the fuck?
He's back. The house is gone. It's dead.
Everything is dead. We're doing okay. Okay. Oh, we did not stay in our house.
Not dead yet.
Not dead yet. Can't do jumpins'.
Jump is overrated. You're about to explore the world of non-jumps.
Yeah. Okay. It's been so long since I've actually walked this path because I keep jumping over it every day.
Mm-hmm. There's a more efficient route. What can you say?
Well, there's a more fun route, that's for damn sure. Crap. Egg. We came back to life.
Lazarus.
Oh, but the pizza place closed. How are we gonna have a pizza party?
Frozen?
Yeah, fair enough. Craig will just go to the Snack Falcon and steal a bunch of frozen pizza.
It was a revolutionary moment, the moment that I realized that like I could take a frozen pizza and put a little more oregano on it and it would be a good pizza.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you realize you can put shit into KD, and I don't mean like hot dogs. I mean like a little more pepper.
Put shit in, yeah.
You find out and you're like, oh my god, this is exponential. This is a dimension.
We can make this work.
We can make it. We can make it.
Yeah, I'm having the ultimate nap time.
Sick naps are nice. Like, you're actually sleepy and you actually, like, get rest. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It makes being sick as fuck worth it.
It definitely does. As long as there's a plan to, wait and die.
I love the reality that they're trying to hide from people, and also they're like, "Oh shit, we need pizza, guys."
Yeah, we need fucking pizza. Also, trying to hide from people. They are very clearly in their apartment. Oh, food eat bad.
Regret.
Yup. Grant and some guy fished shoe out of the woods. And we were in a coma. Took a very, very long nap. Can I be a dick here and just grab
Don't do it. Don't choose violence.
I will forever choose to be an absolute jerk. Oh, that fun feeling of not being able to eat.
Oh, it's the worst. Because half the time you're also hungry.
Yeah. Like, food is the solution, but
you're specifically hungry because you haven't been able to eat. Like,
yeah. She trusts Bea, and that's it.
That definitely sounds like parents.
Yeah.
Like, singling out, like, well, at least you have one trustworthy friend.
Yep. Hey, Angus.
Hey. Hello, Angie.
Yup.
No, you wouldn't, May. It would just be heaves with very small amounts of bile.
Oh, fun bile. Hey, friends.
it says something about the two of us that as we go through this game and more fucked up shit happens, we're like, iconic, same. It me.
Okay, well, yeah. Like, me feeling sick and unable to eat is a very, very, very common occurrence in my life.
I wouldn't describe it as an occurrence. I would describe it as a mode.
It's a regularity in my life. That is definitely what happens. It's not the same. I never feel like I'm going to like throw up, but like the feeling is there. The feeling is definitely there. I want to see Bea. Bea, help me. Rub my tummy.
Rub my tumb.
Got Wi-Fi. Nice.
It's not just Possum Springs.
It's really
It's like it is so wild because like there's just a radius outside of every city where internet's fine and then it isn't. It's just a binary.
I look forward to the time where Bill Gates injects us with a serum such that like we become the 5G towers. And that way we constantly have 5 bars. Like we always have full signal.
Yeah, Elon Musk and his fucking satellite internet shit may have caused Kessler syndrome and like eternally made it so that the night sky is polluted for astronomers and child like sky watchers for years to come. But that shit was needed.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been Elon Musk. It should have been a government because that's what the government should do, public works, and not random dudes with like apartheid emeralds, but sure. Every now and then I worry, am I weirdly obsessed with this one billionaire I hate?
I mean, you are a little bit obsessed with Elon Musk.
But here's the thing. I get constant, like, sponsored and embedded content on all sites I go to.
Yeah.
Just, like, I'm present enough to have conversations with people, but I don't, like, post about my life, and I don't really I don't really use that for any, like, identifying anything. So Facebook malfunctions at the very least. Facebook does, and ads do for me as well. So they target the demographic they think I am from limited information. And for some reason, everything shifted. There's been some stuff like for a while they've been like, oh, do you need addictions counseling? And then other ones they're like, oh, are you looking for senior living? But the one thing they all have in common is that they keep giving me like Elon Musk simp content, and I'm so mad about it.
Yep. That's
like
fair. That's totally valid.
Because the truth is, I'm not that mad about Elon Musk. I'm mad about the simps.
Yeah.
Like, you realize you're supporting monarchy. It's not, oh wow, this dude is great and innovating for the world. It's you're going, no, it's great that this dude happens to have a concentration of a lot of fucking assets and is like controlling vast swaths of the world moment to moment. Elon Musk is not a good dude. He's not like a supervillain. He's just a supervillain, I should say. He's just another rich dude, and he has a cult. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand seeing the shit because it doesn't just talk about him like a person who does business on a large scale. It talks about him like a fucking messiah. The guy called himself a techno king. Fuck him.
So May's explaining her dissociative disorder.
Yeah.
Everyone's just shapes. Yep. Gotta love disassociation from reality.
Yeah. Dissociating's one thing. Depersonalizing is weird.
Yeah.
Because they're so close that if you've experienced one, you probably also experienced the other because they're cousins. But it's weird being like, Am I the constant, or is the world the constant?
Yeah. What is the constant? What is the variable? But the sad truth is, both are constants times the variable.
Yeah. And every now and then you're in the middle of an episode and someone texts you like, "Hey, how's it going?" And you don't want to be like 3 to the left.
Yeah.
So you're like, "Good, you?"
He's not good at what he does. So he's like the therapist, dentist, doctor. It's all shapes. Didn't make friends. I was just afraid of being outside. Yup. All these shapes. He was pointing down at me. Oh no, not a pointing statue. Pointing statues are the worst fucking statues.
Mm-hmm.
They're either a puzzle piece in a video game or like useless.
Yeah. I feel like whenever they're video game puzzles, if it's not really like so obvious that it's like a 3-year-old puzzle, they're almost completely useless.
Yeah.
Like if there is a waypoint you have to navigate around, you're done. There's a reason, like if you do field work, they teach you to do traverses. Like,
yeah,
it is actually really hard to walk in a straight line.
It is very, very difficult to walk in a straight line. Yeah. I guess that makes sense why she refuses to just stay in her fucking room. She always has to be on the move out doing stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to do shit to keep the void at bay. And it's tough because, like, really, the thing that is the best is to look at the void, to figure out why it's happening, to figure out what it is. But that's one of the most... if you have a void, that's the most intense experience you are going to have in your entire fucking life.
You need to be prepared for it. You need to be ready for it. It's not something you can just fucking charge at and do.
Yeah. Because it's not a void. It's black paint. There's something in the void, and the thing in the void, when you find out what it is, you'll find out why there was black paint over it. Mm-hmm. You know?
And we're doing the thing we probably shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm. Someone's gotta.
Acting rashly during moments of weakness. Hi, person. You facing the void?
Like, this is what it fucking feels like to face the void. You walk straight the fuck in, and you're like, who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah. Let's... Oh. Hi, Greg. Eesh, Greg went fucking nuts. What's going on? All your fault. You definitely made these creepy dudes around us and like kidnapping someone maybe. We have mind control powers. Come on, it's clearly our fault.
All right. Do you know when the most recent save point is?
No.
Just gonna look up Night in the Woods saves. Okay, let's see here. Okay.
I like that. I like that he's just like, no, you're not gonna fucking die on me. And she's like, that's cheating. You're not allowed to emotionally manipulate me into living.
Okay, it says it says it auto saves whenever there's a cat icon, so I assume it's really frequent.
I think it only does that every day or every like event. Why? I figure we were really close to the end.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to do a stretchy.
Okay.
Without going any further, do you think you could entertain for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'll do the same? Just because like we are not a full stream in. We're probably going to go for maybe like an hour to 2 hours if this gets long. Just so you know.
Really?
Like we're overtime.
Really?
It might not, but it might, and it's the kind of might where I gotta say, let's take a minute. That's my vote, though.
Okay.
You don't have to take a minute. I don't know how you're feeling. I just know that at this point, I'm usually like, ooh,
if we're going to go for like another hour, 2 hour, then I'm gonna need to run to the washroom quickly. So yeah, you can go do your thing.
All right, I'll tell you when I'm back, and then I will. Well, as I go take a break, I'm gonna think of the chat story at least.
Oops. The gate's open. Oh god. Okay, so I said I wouldn't progress without Will, so he's kind of going to go and do his thing, so we can then like come back and do all the other stuff. So we're just gonna see. Thoughts so far as to who it could be, though. Probably not Selmer. Maybe it's the Star Wars Luke Skywalker clone of us. That's very possible. It's just our fucking mom. It's literally just our mom who's constantly judging us. Oh god. It can't be any gators because it would have the snout. Maybe it's one of the smelters guys by the bar. Oh god, that would be terrible if it's just like a smelter by the bar doing whatever the fuck he wants with his life. I am so curious as to who this is, though. I really want to see what's going on. I really do. I don't want to end it. I don't want to wait another week. Like this is power through moment. This is epilogue, or this is not epilogue. This is ending. We've had the creepy cult. We've had mental breaks. We've had all sorts of weird shit going on, and like just really need to finish it off for the sake of my own sanity. I need it. But who could it be? I don't think it's Birdman. I don't think it's Jesus Birdman. Although the bird dude is definitely Jesus. Perhaps it's the pastor. Pastor would be interesting. Pastor would definitely be interesting. I'd be down to see that. Yeah, that would be the good shit.
Alright.
Hey,
Headphones on. I'm back. Gates open.
What if the smelter dude is a pastor?
What if the smelter dude is a pastor?
Yeah, is our pastor, and who is going like vigilante justice on the town. Anyway, no. I don't genuinely think that. I'm just. I was musing as to who this person could be, going through all of the possibilities.
I walked in with the lack of context that comes from like coming back to a stream after you've taken a minute, so obviously you're doing your job quite well.
Yeah. I ranted. At one point it was our mom who's just who was silently observing us just to continue her perpetual judgment of us. That's that was my thought.
Truman showing you?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly run to the bathroom while you do your musing now.
My musing? Good question. What do I muse about? Well, my muse was a fine man by the name of John MacArthur. Like, for real. So I've been playing guitar since I got a guitar for my 11th birthday, and I got guitar lessons like after Christmas, which everyone but my family seems to find a little yikes. I wonder why. But basically, ever since I got guitar lessons, I've been a lifelong picker, you know? And there's times where you'll walk away and you'll come back. But my muse was a dude by the name of John MacArthur. Real nice guy. And I found out that he passed during the pandemic. I hadn't spoken to the guy for years. I remember when we parted, actually. I had mentioned, like, I didn't really have the time, and it didn't make sense to be spending the cash on lessons, because even cheap guitar lessons aren't cheap. Anything that costs money isn't cheap at a certain level, you know? But I remember him saying, like, he felt positive about it, like I was probably going to come back. And the truth is, I did multiple times. If you ever feel like you're being overwhelmed playing an instrument, or even just broadly speaking, like taking part in a skill or something, it never hurts to walk away, because it might just be a breather that you need to come back. And this dude had a poem that he liked dearly by the name of Desiderata. And I remember this line in it that I have been thinking about for months on end. That's like, because it's basically like a life instruction manual is the way the poem is formatted. It's a bunch of advice. And one of them is like it's about not associating with vexatious individuals, which I find to be the best way of putting it. Vexatious people, not to associate them. Because it doesn't say don't hang out with wild right-wingers. It doesn't say don't hang out with rabid leftists. It doesn't say don't hang out with weird MLP fandom people. It just says don't like associate with vexatious individuals, because it really comes down to the core of like, it's generally not in your best interest to hang around with people who are going to piss you off at all times. It's just good life advice. Don't. Welcome back, Ken.
Welcome back. Vexatious. Causing or tending to cause annoyance, frustration, or worry. Do. The more you know.
You were like, muse a little, and then I talked about my actual muse, my former guitar teacher.
Nice.
It was one of his, like, not his, but yes, his. Like, one of his pieces of advice is, like, don't hang around with people who are vexatious. Doesn't matter what that word means, you'll know if they're vexatious.
Yeah, you fucking know. I have to go down there. What if the cult is separate from the miner dude, and the miner dude was trying to investigate? No.
He's the one guy who had a helmet. That's how you're supposed to tell them apart.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. Walking into a creepy mine, and the only light is fucking his cigarette. Oh wait, no, it's an e-cig, isn't it? She's trying to quit.
It's a dummy, I believe.
Yeah. This seems like a moment where she would have an actual cigarette, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real here. Probably has an actual cigarette.
It is interesting that, like, the nicotine patches, nicotine gum, and, like, fake like dummy cigarettes are all different ways to deal with addiction, because it really highlights the fact that like sure, your body has a nicotine dependence, but that is very much secondary to the fact that you have a daily ritual.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing that's nice about, genuinely what's really nice about, like, needing to take medical weed for medical, like, I don't mind taking it for recreational reasons.
Yeah,
it's just nice that I happen to also require it to not be in constant agony.
Yeah.
But, like, genuinely, it's just really nice to, like, a couple times a day have to, like, put down, I don't mean to sound like a boomer, but put down electronics. But even if you're, like, reading a book or working on a project, you put that down and put it inside, and you just sit. You engage in like a rote physical exercise. Like, you could do that with whittling very easily. And just be outside for a sec.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where...
For me, that was walking. I would walk through parks. That was my thing.
Yeah. It would be nice to whittle. But that's a tough thing to do in a city. Because, like, either you're inside and you have to pick up all those wood shavings later, or, like, you're outside and you still have to pick up all those wood shavings later, like, or you're going to get a citation.
It's not asthma. Asthma is specifically, it feels like a weight is on your chest. This is more... everything. Also, I should probably be wearing masks because, like, coal mines, not the best.
You should be wearing masks in the situation that they were producing masks for before COVID.
Yeah. Also, look, stars. So,
I like that they still make you do the like trudging, but at least give you the benefit of like a time lapse being like, you're moving very slowly, but you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, this would drag on for a real long time if we were actually doing that.
Little shreds.
Yeah.
Shreds and piles.
We
got benches.
Clocks.
Ooh, there's a pentagram in the beams.
Ooh, yeah, I see it. They say there's like that theory for finding faces and things. But I feel like there should also be a thing for like finding satanic imagery and things.
I follow a Twitch streamer who repeatedly does something called there's a few of them, but the type like especially around the 2020 election and like the storming of the Capitol, they all melded together because it used to be Tinfoil Tuesday, Chud Watch, which is usually going after like just people who believe weird shitty things, and like what was the other one? Sovereign Citizen Tuesdays, I think was the other one.
Sovereign Citizen, yes.
Yeah. And so, like, they all started to blend together. Sorry, there was a point I was going to get to. What was I jumping off? Right, finding symbols. So the person who runs the channel, Hannah, she's been keeping a running list of what Masonic/Satanic/Cabal symbols are. And it's insane, because it's just... You'll watch a video and commentate on it in the Twitch channel, and then they'll be like, and that's a symbol from the Freemasons, and you put it on the list. And as you go through it down the line, it's already at the point where it's like, it's the color orange. It's literally decorated stairs in a Masonic lodge that are obviously just dead-ass Masonic. A black and white checkered floor. Circles. Triangles. Like, both pentacles and pentagrams. And, like, it gets weirder and weirder to the point where it's like, oh, that's a spiral. That's a Masonic symbol. And it's like, you're just finding things that you find to be unusual and saying, oh, Satan!
Satan!
Which is also really funny because the Freemasons aren't Satanists. They're Christian LARPers, guys. They are real, and the real thing they do is, like, hang around in a lodge together and drink beers as buds. That's it.
Yep.
They kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like, I got friends whose parents are Freemasons. It's not cool.
Bunch of old boys doing their damnedest to protect their own and their neighbors. Yup. All of you are a part of this town. Yep, by family relation or just being hard workers. Contributors. Well, he wrote you down here for a reason, and he's not gonna let you leave until he says say. He's already got an arrow through his shoulder. I think he's gonna be having much say what in whatever. Yeah. Kidnapped that kid at Harfest. He's been in my head somehow.
Oh, little girl.
God. I've seen this. I felt it.
Ed Scudder and Jim Dorney found it 20 years back or so, after the West Mine closed out past Brittle. Vest Shoemaker, last supervisor, was out here when the company locked off the entrance. Carved his initials and date in the door. Then you got this mine, the old one. Not even a proper mine. Big hole, copper. Abandoned, shoot. Long before any of us were born. Too close to water. And that water was poison. When the first settlers came out here. That old spring used to be right above where we're standing. But that water dried up. 1992 or so, some men from West Mine, they come back up here to try bootlegging. Practically built a new elevator, got the main tunnel cleared. Never found any coal, just dug deeper and deeper. Till Ed busts through that wall and finds this place. And Jim walks right into that hole. Never hits bottom. Ed calls down to Jim. Jim don't answer. Someone else does. I know you heard that voice, girl. In dreams and waking times. That's what brought you down here. You gotta understand. In those days, it was the end of the world. Jobs gone, our kids were leaving. Government didn't care, only wanted our votes. Just putting in more regulations, sending our jobs overseas. Spending our taxes on lazy people and immigrants. While we worked ourselves to death.
Here we go. God damn, I hate this crap. You old dipshits.
You finished?
Yeah, sure.
We prayed and prayed up at the church. When Ed Scudder came back down here and listened, he got answers back. Yeah, he's already in there singing to you, right? Ed explained it to a few folks and they didn't believe it. But he was persuasive. He had the glimmer. The ones he takes a shining to. Rubs off on you. You can do things. I never seen it. But they said Ed could walk through walls.
Whoa. Okay.
After Ed talked us into all this, after that first time, after we picked one out, well, not only was the town holding stable, but it was almost like we were getting younger and money came too. Still a few of us left from back then. First one in the hole by our own hands. We own up to what we do. I was there. I was too.
Yeah, I was in that too. You threw them in the hole? They're feeding him.
He's hungry like you wouldn't believe. Every few months or so, he starts singing. It's someone's turn to find someone.
Was that what you were doing the other night? Yeah, I'm gonna assume it.
No. What happened the other night was a shame. One of our number broke the rules. Had to pay up. It was a hard thing to do.
I think I'm gonna be sick. Can I
You never pick no one who's gonna be missed. It's a solid rule. Drifters, drunks, delinquents.
Oh god, oh no.
That Hartley kid? All he was gonna contribute to society? Except a bunch of kids growing up with no dad? That was a rap sheet a mile long. For whatever sad end he'd wind up at. We did him a favor.
You killed Casey? Oh my god.
You don't use that word. You know he was taking up business with his cousin, right? You know what happened to his cousin? Burned alive when his little trailer lab exploded. They had to wear hazmat suits when they cleaned him up. That's where Casey was headed.
You killed Casey.
You want to act like we didn't do him and his whole town a favor?
God, Casey's been down here the whole time. His parents put up posters.
Maybe they should have cared more about him before it came to this.
Which one of you did it? Craig? He was my friend.
All right, now. Throw it down or I will shoot.
What if I get you first? Bolt sticking right out of your eye. Bang. Bang. Brought
Guns out here?
What the fuck?
Dangerous as far out in the woods tonight. Basic safety.
Right.
Throw it down, son. Don't make this our time.
Craig. Dang it. You're monsters. None of this is happening.
We're not monsters. We do it because we love our home. As long as we keep doing this, Possum Springs survives. Things can get better. These mines are going to be humming again someday. Old mills puffing smoke. You kids don't understand that. We lost what our world was built around. Used to be you provided for a family, bought a house. Now you're stocking shelves at the grocery store. Kids leaving more than they're staying. No opportunity here. Old people dying, houses left empty. You ever seen that? A home become a tumbled-in pile of wood and plaster? A job become a burnt-out brick box or a hole in the ground? We can change that. We can put this place back together, man. We can do it, or it won't be just... shapes.
I'm gonna die down here. why are you telling us all this?
Because we're getting old. Even with the fringe benefit of good health, we need new blood. Carry this on when we're gone.
Really? You're like pitching us on this? Were any of you even minors back in the day? Any of you hurting now? Financially, like? Or is this some big costume party murder club? For someone's shitty boss who's afraid of dying?
It don't matter.
It does. This is real bad. This is insane. Why should we help you?
No one's here to do this. Remember that flood a few years back? You remember the blizzard of 2010? That's what happens. Beyond that, the jobs never come back. The kids never come back. Everything crumbles. Possum Springs bleeds to death. Soon we'll all be dead. In this town, you just fields and trees.
I've seen it.
I know you have. I understand if you need some time to think it over.
So we can leave?
Yeah. Understand that if you don't know who we are out there, but we know who you all are. It ain't fair they get to leave, and I probably got permanent damage. Shut up, Edie. No, think about what he wants, what he is. Edie, I swear to God.
Let's go. Yeah, let's seriously get out of here.
Soon you leave that crossbow.
What? Why?
Well, it could bullshit you. Or, truth is, I just don't trust you.
Fine, whatever. It's a piece of shit anyway. I can't move you guys. I'll carry you. How did we get? Well, my brain's in pieces now. It's all just empty. Everything's empty.
But hey, Possum Springs, it lives, guys. It matters.
Yeah. Possum Springs. Great place. Great place. So we found out about Casey. Yeah.
And the arm.
And the arm. Yeah.
We don't know who it belonged to, but we know it was them.
We know it was them. And we know the person that we saw kidnapped was the person who fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
So Casey ate the kid at Harfest. That's more sense than I can make of it. She's hearing things. Hey, he's there. Of course. Ah, yeah, Resident Evil style. Nice.
New arm.
god. May, no. And then Greg's laughing, and then May's laughing, and then Greg's laughing, and everyone's a little bit concerned. Alright. We messed that guy up and he's not coming back. Here's fucking hoping. The ever awesome Angus.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Angus was a scout.
I was a scout, Greg. I was a scout.
Aw, they're adorable. Better now that I almost got murdered. Again. You know, one murder really fucks you up, but that second attempt at murder, it sets everything back right.
It's a nice tone-setting murder, you know?
Yeah. You can do a walk. With hands in the air like you just don't care.
One final grabbies. Come on, do the grabbies.
All together.
Bonus grabbies! We grabbed it with the help of our friends.
Oh, good.
Give me a sniffy.
Everyone, do you mind walking just a little bit slower? I'm still dying, remember? Okay, thank you.
Just think.
Right. You think that? Why am I the one going first? Seems like a, in general, bad idea. Oh, and there we go. Naturally, I would be the one to find the fucking sinkhole. I know. After I sent that kid to hospital years ago, he said I had an anger problem, but that's not true. I was angry because of something else, something I had lost. Trying so hard since not to be angry got me all defenseless, and I lost more and more and more. It's not getting better. I want to be angry. When I ran home from college on the bus, I had this dream, or maybe I saw it out the window. Last leaf on the tree finally blown off. I was so scared all the time. All the fear hurts. Feeling like everything is over. It was over long before I got here. So long, hiding. Or trying to outrun this. I get it. This won't stop until I die. But when I die, I want it to hurt. When my friends leave, when I have to let go, and this entire town is wiped off the map, I want it to hurt. Bad. I want to lose. I want to get beaten up. I want to hold on until I'm thrown off and everything ends. And you know what? Until that happens, I want to hope again. I want it to hurt. Because that means it meant something. That means I am something, at least. And laughter. Pretty amazing to be something, at least. Cthulhu noises. Cthulhu sounds. You know I can't understand you, right? Oh, shut up already. I know this won't save me in the end, but I don't need it to save me forever. I just need it to save me now. So if you're gonna kill me right here, then do it. If not, fuck off. Hey! Got all sleepwalky for a sec there. Think I'm good. I'm just very, very tired.
See, this is another iconic moment. It's like as you're casually walking from place to place, dissociating into the final boss.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go back and keep fighting for my life.
Oh, Bricky.
Yeah. Oh, the ting. Yeah, that we went with the mom.
Well, it's obviously doing its job very well.
Oh, sure. Hello? Don't ask us why, please. I can try to make it out. I am the climber. Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's do this. Hyper like dolphins. I believe that's endorphins, not dolphins. There we go. Thank you, those. But then again, dolphins are very energetic and excitable. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. Endorphins do feel a lot like dolphins in your blood.
Yeah, right? Whoop.
You're like, oh god, my pain tolerance is kicking in.
Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop.
This is hard for everyone else, but we're good at the jumps.
Ah! I fell. That's right. I played Doodle Jump? Yeah, Doodle Jump was a hand. Okay.
This place. Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, May. Hey, Germ.
Hey, May. I love that Germ shows up.
Yeah, it's just... Of course Germ would be here. Ah, he did hear us. Cool. You're at the bottom of the old well in the backyard. It's been a really bad... It has been a really bad night.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go get it? Thank you. I like that he's the type of person that will just be like, yeah, I have old rope.
Mm-hmm.
And then just stand there not putting two and two together.
Your one brain cell desperately reaching out for the other like the hand of God on that fucking Michelangelo fucking fresco.
Okay, I like to think that the order went, we got Greg out, then Bay out, then all of us had to combine for Angus.
Mm-hmm.
Long way. And he brought sodas. Cool.
Oh.
You're the best, Germ. Anyone else want to get far away from the well?
This is like the preamble to some Lovecraft shit.
Yeah. He's got
hey,
dynamite.
Germ, can you steal up this well? And the Night in the Woods 2 Night in the Woods 2 happens and you're Germ.
Yeah. It's not small. You know, dynamite is somewhere between cherry bomb and nuke. Somewhere in there.
Germ does seem like the kind of dude who would legitimately have a little dynamite.
Yeah. Like, he had it once, and he just kind of keeps it in his closet and just doesn't think about it until it's, you know, narratively important like this. Germ's good. German's a good man. Definitely.
I will say, I definitely own things that are waiting for the moment that they'll be narratively important.
Right? Like, you're just a character in a point and click that's just like, yes, I will need to gather this axe.
I have a level 1 sword, I'm ready.
Yeah. We did cause the deaths of like a dozen guys. They're still alive down there. Yep, they are in fact still alive down there.
They're weird for, like, West Virginia coal mine fascists. Fuck them.
Yeah. We're worrying about, like, it's morally gray. We're wondering if we had murdered the people who were threatening to kill us.
Like, to be clear, this is about whether or not you feel comfortable taking a human life.
Yeah.
As a human life, as a constant.
Yeah.
But if there's going to be a human life, a bunch of people who wanted you to murder outsiders to keep the town prosperous in a weird fucking limb removal cult. Them. Like, if you aren't comfortable with the idea of killing someone, okay. If you're comfortable with the idea of killing someone, you were just given the opportunity, you know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Like, you can't consider human life in a vacuum, ever. And same goes with taking human life. You can't consider it in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm personally taking offense at the whole like hard workers thing. Like, no, you don't get to be weirdly eugenicsy. You don't get that.
Yeah. You jerks are off doing whatever. Don't even understand life. I think you get taught that you have a lot more control of the world than you do. You just walked into all this horrible stuff that was already happening. We all did. I guess that's really scary. Like, who knows what's gonna happen? But I guess you can, like, connect things or connect to things. Sometimes you need someone to be the thing you don't have, even if it's something you're supposed to already have. All of you are what kept me from floating off today. Also, you just kind of killed that guy to save me. Don't think I don't appreciate that.
Lol.
Lol.
Dead.
Casual lol. Am I ever going to have a handle on what's happened? I kinda hope not. I just hope it's over. I want us all to get free of it. I don't want us to be part of some horrible story. I want to, like, grow giant, pick you all up, and carry you someplace safe. Sorry I'm all rambling now. Just gotta believe there's ways to escape. Or at least move on. Germ, buddy. Germ, you messenger. I guess I'm just typing at you wherever you're at. And of course he would be standing under a fucking lamppost. I think I pretty much love Greg more than anyone ever. I don't know if better friends exist. Like old shoes that go together. Sorry I caused drama between you and Angus. Angus, I give you Greg as a gift. Remember to water and feed him. If you ever hurt him, I will kick your ass into the ground. He was mine first. Now I'm just gonna erase all that. Oh shit. Guys, I was just kidding about a lot of that. I'm really tired. I don't know what I'm saying. Log off, May. Log off. And now, darkness.
And then a cat.
And then a cat. And we can do the wikis. Yep.
Shapes.
Just shapes. As usual, we'll be addicted to our TV screens.
You gotta access the console before you leave the room.
Yeah.
This is Star Trek. You gotta access it.
Yeah. I'm not opening the pickaxe today. Yeah. Greg informs me we're doing band practice, though. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Nice messages. Hey, he called us a dork. I feel like that's something that Greg at the beginning of the game would never do. Greg would never refer to us as a dork. We're legendary.
Yeah. Circle.
After all that, just... Hi.
Circle.
Circle. Hi. Is so nice. Epilogue.
Starch.
Okay. Did Dad finally move the stuff over here? No.
You know how I mentioned you can watch TV with him every night?
Yeah.
You can bug him enough that he moves the boxes.
Oh, nice. God, I'm gonna have to play through this again and just do that.
Oh, you gotta do it.
I don't know what this feeling is. I'm not gonna cry today. Okay.
I'm gonna eat you for Thanksgiving.
Oh man, fucking rereading old books is like the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got even more. See what the back of the book says. Released 1937. Shapes from Beyond the Veil is a towering achievement and marks the start of the weird gothic genre. Okay, so I don't know if it's an actual book or not.
It is kind of neat how they crawled out of a well, and that's a Lovecraft reference.
Yeah.
Bit of the old color out of space action.
Just immediately leave and don't talk to Mom. No, we've spoken to her every single day. Let's do the one where we're actually having a decent morning. Why? Okay. Actual... We need to come up with some ground rules? I mean, that's valid. That's sort of valid parental concern.
Ooh, in response to, you almost died and left to hang out with your friends, I gotta be honest, this is a moment where you as a parent have to sit there and go, how shitty am I that I'm not the you almost died person?
Yeah.
What did I do that when you almost die, you go to your friends?
I'll be around tonight, and then we'll do a good talk and hash everything out. And we'll have fucking pancakes.
Longest night.
Ooh, yay. Honk for some snow. Neat. The fall doesn't go too quick, in my opinion. But that's because I like the fall and I want it to stay longer. Always longer.
To be fair, we live in Canada, so, like, we have spring, fall, summer, and then, like, a month.
Yeah.
Sorry, spring, fall, winter, and, like, a month.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey.
let's be real. Fall is a long, agonizing process that goes from, like, mid-July to December.
Yeah.
This feels very much like a boomer, like, complaining about basic shit to a millennial.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you were supposed to be respected, and it's like, how fucking good were your workplaces that they respected you? Like, holy shit, you've been respected?
We do need a union. That's, yeah. Yeah.
Are we about to be fucking commie-pilled? Are we about to go pinko? Start a union?
Fucking unions have their purpose. Yeah. Let's just everyone have a big life sucks sesh, because that needs to happen. And
Quick, to danger!
immediately on the power lines. Mom said that I couldn't leave town, but she didn't say anything about power lines.
I'm alive, you fucking slut. I'm gonna go say hi to Selmers.
Yep. A lot of weird calls this morning. What kind of calls?
Chronicles. Both of you know.
Question. You haven't seen... Okay. Okay, fine. I blew up a mine. Well, technically Germ did that, but still.
I do like stay safe, or like be careful, and be like, oh, I never considered being careful. Oh man.
Remember when... remember when stay safe became the, parting phrase of 2020?
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting time.
God, how the fuck are we gonna explain this fucking COVID shit to our kids?
We can't. There's no way we could put into words how weird of a year 2020 was.
Especially because, we had SARS. We've seen some weird political shit.
Yeah.
But, 2020 was genuinely a historical moment, and the takeaway is, hey, kids, just so you know, there's an insult that says, may you live in interesting times. I know why it's an insult!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been interesting!
Definitely. And I don't want it to be. Well, thanks, Selmers, for telling me about caffeine and all that.
You don't...
stuff.
Kids, you don't want to have to go through an experience that makes you appreciate the value of a hug, okay? Don't go through an experience that makes you appreciate the value of a hug.
I need to get back on the lines. He's on the rooftop. I need to talk to old man teacher.
Mr. Cheskov. I do like the fact that they're all alive because it presumes that they're the rare few who weren't part of the cult but who were trying to keep the town going.
Yeah. It closed down the whole damn town. We're gonna do another water balloon toss? Yeah, it's totally gonna work. The town council is totally doing great.
I love that we get to fucking see an argument.
Yeah. I'm just standing here, it's going. Oh god. We two agree so much, why don't you just get married already? They don't like each other, it's fine. I'd rather break my own femurs with cinder blocks. Fuck. That's not...
Break for food? Great idea. I'm starving.
See, we could still make decisions. Yikes. Friend groups.
It does really highlight the fact that municipal governments are basically just a bunch of friends who decided to run the town together.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay.
What they tell you is that if you want to rule the world, they'll actually just let you do it. It's just that ruling the world means like keeping snowplow drivers from fighting the private plow drivers, and that's not fun.
Yeah. See, teacher. Need to talk to
Mr.
him about,
Chazikov, I'm here to see more about the universe.
need to talk to him about existential dread.
Hey, Mr. Chazikov. There's a cult.
There's a cult in town, by the way. Don't know if you knew this, but cult. One more. We get one more story from Mr. Chazikov.
Not even two, just one.
Ah. It's a Canadian.
Cool. He got the toque, he got the scarf, he's making a fire from some brush.
Yeah. This star makes me want to cry. Do you want to talk about it? It's okay. Sometimes too many words.
You ever sit there and realize that Mr. Chazikov is the entire basis for one of the NPCs that you have in one of the campaigns?
He's the entire basis of Rutger.
He's just Rutger.
It makes sense. He is Bear. He is Russian. He's
I also like
Superman.
I like the fact that Rooker is like a massive bear dude, and also like the entire group's dad, yet he's still like the softest boy.
He's so soft. Oh, Rooker's great.
Hell yeah, small town.
Hell yeah. Okay.
The fact that they let you do the final quest and then let you walk through town again is a really good choice.
Yeah, it's solid. It's sort of like seeing a town in a different light. Oh, hey, there's a dude here.
It also very much has the energy of like going through a really bad mental health moment and then just walking around the next day like it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, hello, Trolley Side News. I didn't consider whether or not I should continue to live last night. It's great.
I do want to know.
Scandalous.
Tell me about my granddad.
History of troublemakers.
The workers went up against armies. Yeah. Okay. And... okay, well, I'm not going to get that opportunity because I didn't talk to you enough.
There is also a playthrough that's the same playthrough as the one where you talk to your dad a lot, where you find out a lot about your granddad.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. Yeah, new mom to teenagers.
Does not go slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not go slowly.
Except for 2020.
Except
That one went so slowly that it's still going on.
Taco Buck. Hell yeah.
Artisan.
Hell yeah, he's a taco artisan. It's great.
The taco artisan holding a sign in the snow. This has the same energy as a cast member at Cineplex having to mop up puke.
It's less mop up puke and it's more... Ticket, please?
No, I worked there. It was mop up puke.
No. I'm saying the energy of standing outside in the snow with a sign.
That is true. I almost miss the floor shifts because you just had to stand in place and everyone else would do shit and you weren't allowed to leave, which sucks if you have to take a piss, but it's great if you don't want to work. Like, people come up to you, they hold out a piece of paper, you have a psychological piece of programming that you execute. Give me a number between 1 and 12.
7.
All right, Theater 7 is going to be just down the hall and to your left. Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Still there. It's been half a decade. It's still there.
Angus not in? Okay.
No Angie.
No Angie. Oh yeah, we're just doing the band today. Let's just go do band.
Shit, I gotta focus. God damn it. I'll be back in a second. Fuck.
Someone's gotta stand here at the Millers. You a Smelters fan? Yeah. Yeah. Go Smelters. Go Smelters. Go Smelters. Living the fucking best life on that one. Alright. Now let's see if we can find Window Lady. Oop. Fuck with you, pigeon. Window Lady! What's in the news? Gonna be a cold winter, worst in years? Yeah, okay. Future's all guesswork, basically. Whee! And exploring all happy like. This is great. Oop. Oop. No hand. Perfect.
I'm back. Snalkin. Look at this dude.
Yeah, look who's alive and well. Seems relevant. So we doing band?
Band? Swooping in for a bite? Snookling?
Let's do band.
Band?
Band?
Rhythm game?
Rhythm game? We have to get one in the stream. Birthday zone. Winter's good. Winter's great. Winter's good because it's the only season where you can be slacking and like not go outside a whole lot and no one judges you.
Yeah. I find winter's nice because I'm always a little depressed.
Yeah.
And during the winter, people get me.
Yeah.
All the seasonal affective people come to visit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as much as I can even tell.
A sufficient amount of okay.
Guess we're gonna find out pretty quick. I did notice one person was missing. One dude from the smelter. The smelter's crew. One of the dudes was missing. Yeah. Can you imagine your parents aren't there? It's like, oh dear God. What? And whatever it was. The murder cult of dads. I like the murder cult of dads. That's so amazing.
It's accurate.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Ah. And the light goes out. There's the hole where the light was. It's like what happened to me way back. Yep. Oh, I love those moments.
Yeah. It's like, oh god, humans do not experience linear time, and it has not been a lot of linear.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess we experienced linear time, like it goes strictly positive, but not linear like a graph.
Yeah, definitely. Nah, bruh. What was our biggest crime ever? Yeah. And then leaving him to haunt the woods up by the highway. Yeah. We're different. We're all different people. Things definitely do change. Yeah, I'd say the town definitely has been impacted by these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They killed Casey.
They did. They killed Casey. Do we like tell his parents? Yeah, what do you tell him? There's like a group of like a dozen or so men trapped in the mines that killed your child.
Also, let's be real. Some kid comes up to you, goes, "Hey, we find out what happened to your son. He died, he was killed by cultists. They were in the mines, but we got out and we trapped them in there, so they're all dead now, so you don't have to worry about them."
We shouldn't tell them. Yeah. We know what happens, and it's probably better off with them living with some faint glimmer of hope.
I think that's the difference between us.
You think it would be better to tell them?
I think it would be better to tell them. I think it's one of those things where it's like...
I'm honestly on the fence about it. Like, if the other person would to be like, no, I'm fucking telling them, I wouldn't be like, no, don't. I'd just be like, okay. Like, I'm on the fence about whether or not, because there's positives and negatives to each situation, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where I fully understand that it's like you are basically figuring out, like, am I going to inflict suffering on this person? But it's not your suffering to inflict, it's the situation's suffering. What you have to do is provide the presence of truth.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it was me, I would want to be told. Like, that's the situation. I would want to know. I would want that closure, I suppose. But, like...
Because a painful reality you can come to accept... A painless falsehood you can't operate in, period. Like, you just can't engage with it.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So would you rather be fucked and not know it and slowly just live in a non-reality? Or live in a real world where you experience a lot of emotional unwellness and then you get past it? Or don't.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, we're not going to live with you, Greg, because we already discussed that our relationship is a little bit toxic together.
Hey.
What's up?
I like the elaborate, long, grinding sound of that door.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't really know what to say about that. Nothing. Nothing at all. Aw, can I steal Greg's pizza? Please. Please let me have another round of stealing Greg's pizza.
He has short arms, and so do I, but I have dedication.
I have dedication to being an ass.
Blinks.
Okay. Damn it, I don't get to steal his pizza. Damn it, I wanted to steal his pizza.
I am kind of surprised looking at the clock that I actually did call it at like hour and a half. It's 6:17.
Yeah, you did.
Break was a good call.
That's a good game, though. This is a really solid game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame that this game didn't... Like, this game got a lot of traction when it came out, but it just kind of fell off.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of space for, like, the new things that come into the zeitgeist and then the things that become part of the canon.
Yeah.
And there's a gray area where things are things you've experienced that aren't old enough to be part of the canon.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, in response to that, I think of something like Journey. I remember Journey. Do you remember Journey?
I never played Journey.
Play
I
Journey.
remember it. I remember the physical thing of it, but I never played it.
It's worthwhile. There's a couple games, and it is also, like, especially from the perspective of being people like us, it's really nice to see, like, some of the games that are part of cultural canon, like Minecraft, for example, are genuine, like, pet projects and fucking indie games.
Yeah. I think the difficulty with a game like this is it's a very story-heavy, like a story-driven game. And when you have story-driven games like this, that is meant to appeal to a very specific audience,
yeah,
you lose a lot of it. But the game has a lot more weight than like a game that has, like, God of War doesn't have an intense story that it has a very broad story that will appeal to a lot of people. This one is very narrowed down, very focused, and is meant to appeal to who it appeals to. And that's kind of like that's my view of it as to why it doesn't get more like traction, and it's kind of a shame because it's fantastic.
I think there's definitely space along the spectrum from, like, things that are meant to be for everyone and things that are meant to be for specific audiences.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Boy Sharkle.
Boy Sharkle.
And, like, I don't know how broad Night in the Woods actually is. I think it's broader than we might assume.
I could see it being broader, but at the same time, it's still way more narrow than, like, a superhero movie is. It's way more narrowed.
But what does a superhero movie have to say? Because it's not nothing.
It's not nothing. Superhero movies are all about hope, optimism, like achieving things, but like who that speaks to a general audience. That speaks to anyone who is looking for hope in their life, which is most people. Most people are fucking looking for hope in their life. But this is very much it is talking about mental health and depression, and the only people that's going to appeal to are the people who want to talk about it.
Yeah. Especially, like, if you think about it, the core takeaway of this game is, like, everything's exactly as fucked as you started.
Yeah.
But,
everything
like,
is
you're
equally as
better.
fucked.
Well, that has been a Night in the Woods.
That has been a Night in the Woods.
It's
been a fucking experience.
Yeah. I managed to find some copies of the old, a couple of the old Bionicle Flash games that used to be on the LEGO website, like, way back in the day when I was growing up. So I'm going to see if I can get those to download and work. And they have, like, Linux downloads, so I'm assuming they're up to date. So hopefully next week we go through some, like, real retro Bionicle content.
Real old school Bionicle shit.
And this Tuesday?
Well, Tuesdays is going to be me taking over Bloodwine, and that's going to be fucking fantastic. But Monday is Cam and I are probably going to be completing It Takes Two, which I'm so excited for because it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited for streams this week. This is actually turning out to be a real interesting stream week.
It's a great week. You get a divorce, you get to watch wrestling, and then you get to play Bionicle.
Exactly. What more could you ask for? So thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Yeah. Have a wonderful time.